started the show this way as well, so I will do this as quickly as possible.
Who's our guy,
overcompensated.
Rev? Is this Rev? Rev?
I have not.
Jump
opened
on
up
in, Rev. It's not going to be long, Rev.
The water's warm.
Yep.
Yeah. I understand what you were trying to do, Jesse. You were trying not to allow your allegiance, along with the intimidating nature of the DC Everest fans, to affect your call. But you overcompensated trying not to be a homer for Muskego. Is that a fair description?
Yes.
Of what you did?
That would be fair, yes.
And so I get it.
That wasn't his job. That wasn't his job. He was a national reporter. He was a national guy that day. He wasn't there as a Muskego bowling club. Didn't get a bunch of money together to send Jesse up there. He was the national guy to capture moments for the sport of bowling in the state of Wisconsin. So I think you taking Jesse's side is ridiculous.
I appreciate your feedback. Now let me ask you this:
Can you agree with this? Though?
Fox calls you and says, "Tausch, we've been listening to you with Matt LePay, the soon-to-be UW Athletics Hall of Famer. Yep. We think your analysis is outstanding."
Oh, that would be a nice change of pace.
We would. Well, I tell you that.
Yep.
But I guess I'm not Fox Television. We have some openings this year. We're moving Brady over to the desk.
Bradshaw's finally gone.
We're pushing Bradshaw. We heard you say that on your radio show. We couldn't agree more. So we've got some openings. Now, it's one of our lower teams. We're going to pair you with, I don't know who's toward the Spiro Dides, but we would love to have you. And then they give you a Packers-Jaguars game.
Sure.
And Malik Willis hits a huge pass down the field to Jaden Reed, and then they win it in a walk-off field goal. You're not going to feel any, I'm a Packer, I have to be a little careful here not to be overly enthusiastic and sound like a homer for the team that I spent my entire career for?
If they made a game-winning play, I'm going to be excited. Yeah, I'm going to be excited.
All right.
If the Jaguars make a great play, I will try and analyze that. I am not doing the play-by-play is different. You have to say what's happening, and you have to let the fans this is where it's different from Dave Kane. Dave Kane crushed that because he captured what Bucs fans were feeling.
He did. Yeah, totally agree with you on that.
Jesse was not there to capture DC Everest or Muskego. He was there to capture moments. And Muskego won a state championship, and he was afraid that a Schofield guy might elbow him in the face. That's what he was afraid of. I don't think Brian Anderson was worried about a Pacers fan or a Bucs fan coming up and punching him in the throat.
No, because he wasn't calling it in the Bucs dedicated fan section
don't know
of
where he
whatever
was.
they call the Conseco
Doc
Fieldhouse.
Rivers is right next to him. So can we just – I don't know why we're pampering Jesse. Jesse's done a great job. I say all the time, his prep stuff, he does a great job. The bowling thing, he knows that should have been more emotion.
Wait, we all agreed that he didn't
No,
rise
you just
to
said
the occasion.
I understand where Jesse's
I understand
coming.
why he did it.
Yeah,
I didn't say that it made it okay.
Well, then what's the understanding?
I understand why he
Didn't
deliver in the moment.
That's what he wanted to say, botched. I heard it on the tip of his tongue. It's okay.
But I get what was going through his head. That's all. Let's move on.
You can accomplish a lot in 6 years. You can butcher three more bowling championships if you want. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
You can botch that. You can give up a 4-point play. You can lose out. There's a lot of stuff
happening here?
that happens over the course. You can go from changing diapers to dropping your kid off, bachelor's degree, senatorial campaign, all that stuff in 6 years. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. A 10-year labor warranty, that is always included. So your windows and doors in your home are secure for years to come. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends Friday. I feel fairly certain it is going to end on Friday. So some urgency here, people. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
What just happened there?
To what?
We went to the Pella read.
We got Michelle Smallmon's coming on. We actually want to be on time, right? So
She's at 10:30. We got a little time to figure that out.
I want to make sure we stay on. It was time to transition.
No, I switched again.
Can I just say I'm very entertained by this? Okay, well, hey,
There are
we're going to
weird
be
things
on
happening
time.
today. The YouTube was all messed up for the first couple of minutes. We got Tausch's video switching in from.
I think this
something
is
from
why
a
it's
week
good.
ago.
Yeah, you guys, I think this is why it's usually good for me to be at my undisclosed location. I just think everything runs smoother. Do you guys? Do we all agree?
No.
Do we agree or do we disagree?
No, you
First
couldn't
of
get
all-
on camera for the first 20 minutes yesterday when I
That
sent
was
you something.
you sending a link.
It was
3
not.
You sent the link 3 seconds before the show started.
All right. I want to get to. I would hate to squander all this bonus time that we have for future segments because Tausch started his Pella read at 9:11. So
It's an 11-minute segment, which is still long if we actually go by the clock. Hey, just FYI.
okay. We look forward to more outfit changes on the video stream from Tausch. We look forward to more criticism of Jesse. But there was some sad news yesterday that I want to get to, and I also want to get to Eric Stokes' departure and what that says. Tausch loves to tell us how first-round picks constantly have to prove they don't belong in the league. He's getting a $4 million opportunity to show that he still belongs or doesn't. We'll talk about that. That's all still ahead. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson to tell you about Pepsi, a proud partner of the NFL and the NFL Draft. Really exciting stuff coming up at the NFL Draft in Green Bay in late April. Pepsi is bringing back the Pepsi Challenge for the NFL Draft. You can check out the NFL experience and put your taste buds to the test with Pepsi and Pepsi Zero Sugar. Pepsi Zero Sugar is incredible. I don't know if you've had it yet, but with the first overall pick, I'm taking Pepsi Zero Sugar. Height 4.8 inches, weight 12 ounces, 0 calories. It is awesome. All the great taste of a regular Pepsi with 0 sugar. Pepsi is incredible. It's the perfect drink as a tailgate mixer. If you need to get that ready for the NFL Draft, for any of the tournament action this week, of course, you want to have a Pepsi. Also a proud partner of the Wisconsin Badgers. In fact, they worked with Hunter Wohler all year. So how about everything coming together? The Badgers, Hunter Wohler, going to be at the draft. Pepsi's going to be at the draft. It's perfect. Pepsi and Pepsi Zero Sugar, proud partners of the NFL and the NFL Draft.
There's no safer place to feel dumb than Mystery Relevant with Alex Strofe.
We are adults on this program. Yeah. I don't know what it's going to take for people to realize that.
Don't listen to the end of Monday's program.
Don't do that. Don't listen to the end of most of our programs. If you don't listen to the show, you can go ahead and say we are the most mature show on ESPN Wisconsin.
Mystery Relevant, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Mark Tauscher here, introducing Pizza Hut's new Ultimate Hut Bundle. Get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and your pick of breadsticks, cheese sticks, or cinnamon sticks with the perfect dip for only $24.99. You want even more? Upgrade to large pizzas or double your wings for just $5 each. Get the ultimate feast for the ultimate value because this deal is too delicious to miss. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Unity Point Health Meritor is proud to be ESPN Madison's Mental Health Month sponsor this March. Explore resources at unitypoint.org/Madison. With the right support, every child and teen can find a path to better mental health.
Do you know or work with kids who have special health care needs? Help them live their best lives.
contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
We're on the Badgers.
This is my concern, and it's not his fault. They just settled for shots.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And if you settle for shots, Tanjay specifically, that's going to hurt.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the
So before we get to Eric Stokes and Trey Hendrickson and everything that could be going on throughout NFL free agency, which, by the way, the new league year, still not officially underway. A little later today that occurs. And I think I saw this from Tom Pelissero. 23 of the 25 top free agents all have found their new homes already. It's a weird deal the way they do this now.
What do you want to do? How do you want them to do it differently?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably the best way.
Well, it's not the best way.
Well, it's the best way.
No, the best way is just open it up. Let it go. And who cares if people are signing at 12:01? Like, did that really bother people? Oh, my God, they talked earlier. Nobody gives a rip. Let's just open it up. Oh, but they tampered. Yeah, that's the NFL, B. Everybody does it.
Why have rules then?
There are rules. You can't sign anybody till 12:01. So sign them. I don't know why everybody gets... There's so much fake outrage.
What is this, a transfer portal?
Like, if you're going to leave here and go somewhere else and you sneakily go off, you're going to leave. You're going to leave. And is that wrong? I don't know. That's up to you to determine.
Yeah, I don't know that there was fake outrage.
There was fake outrage. Oh, it's just so... I remember What's-His-Face was down at Old Boy's doorstep at midnight. Well, and the contract was done. And oh, my God, they must... I'm sure it just happened to happen that way. Nobody cares, man.
Bart Scott.
Yeah, great. That's great for him and his family. Why does it bother everybody? Is it illegal? You go to the combine, everybody talks, everybody gets their stuff, and everybody knows what's happening. And Shefty and everybody knows it too. And then so now you give this 3-day fake period that everybody knows. And so I just think let it rip on Monday. And if you want to wait till Wednesday, great. And you could say insiders don't leak it like they do at the draft. But that ain't going to happen. So I don't mind this. I don't mind that. It's a this and that deal. Let it rip. I'm fine with it. What do you think, Jesse?
I disagree. Rules are rules. You should follow them.
Okay.
Jesse, great opportunity there to say, I thought that was a really good opinion from Tausch, and I thought he delivered it very effectively, and that was a good answer from Mark Tauscher.
I'm not leaning into this moving forward.
I know. I'm aware that you're not.
I don't think you're going to have a choice, unfortunately.
So we'll get to Eric Stokes in a minute, but I did want to talk about this briefly, and I don't want to bring down the mood because we're having so much fun this morning, mostly at Jesse's expense. But
is it rude, before you talk about the great legacy of Junior Bridgeman, is it rude when somebody says a really dumb joke to you and you just say lols?
Is it rude when you're about to talk about someone's passing and you ask if it's rude?
I didn't want to interrupt you as you were getting into it, so I wanted to hit this before we talked about Junior Bridgeman. So if somebody comes up and does a really dumb joke like, "Oh, this kid miss you," and I just said,
was that the dumb joke?
It was something. Because the guy almost ran into me and he goes, "Oh, you almost missed you," because I'm obviously big, and I just said, "Lols."
Oh dear.
How does that play?
He knows you weren't enjoying that joke.
No, it was a good
that's
joke.
the message you wanted to send.
I'm not going to sit here and fake it. It wasn't a good joke. It wasn't funny. He almost, he barreled into me.
Kind of
is this someone you know, or is this a stranger?
I didn't know him.
You just made his day super uncomfortable.
Well, I said lols. I mean, it's not like I punched him or I just said lols.
It is a little not nice of that guy to, assume running into a stranger you can make that comment.
Yeah,
Why did you go
I didn't love it, so I just lolsed it. And lols usually brings joy to people. Like if somebody texts me back lols or a smiley emoji deal, I get a kick out of it.
It's very different if someone says lols versus the smile, the laughing emoji. Very different.
I said lols. I said it.
All right. So first, I have so many questions. Starting with, so does this mean when we get a text from you that says LOLZ, that's also you sarcastically, snarkily saying that whatever you're responding to was kind of sucky?
Depends. You guys know the difference between sarcasm lols and regular lols. There's a difference.
I'm not sure I do anymore.
No, there's a difference. You guys know when you hit something out of the park.
Why did you feel compelled to say anything? Like you were offended by this?
I wasn't offended. I just didn't think it was funny. No, it was not. I was not disgusted. Hold up.
Bigger fella.
I was not disgusted, but I also didn't think it was funny. There was an indifference that led me to say lols.
I think if you're just trying to move on from the moment because it's not very funny, you just give him a courtesy chuckle, which you're very good at.
I'm not going to do fake. I wasn't going to go fake there. I wasn't
I think
in the
you should have
fake.
given him
I
a
wasn't in the fake mood.
Stare.
No, I'm not. I wasn't in a confrontational mood. I was in an indifferent
Clearly
mood.
you were, because he goes,
No, I wasn't. I would have been confrontational if I was
lols is not indifferent. Shrugging your shoulders would be indifferent.
How'd you deliver lols?
I said lols.
Yeah, that's confrontational.
Yeah, no, that's confrontational.
Not confrontational.
That is confrontational, yes.
Well, I disagree. And I was there, so fair enough.
That doesn't mean you're right.
I'm going to continue with this lols. If I'm trying to avoid any more fake laughter. I think that might be my Lenten deal.
You're giving up fake laughter for Lent.
Kay Adams, you have the fake laughter. I'm going to get rid of it. It's lols now.
DJ and the Saw chimes in.
Any chance you could put that font smaller, Jesse?
Pretty clear to me.
I better have 5.5 vision to be able to read that.
5.5 vision. Fellow Schofield guy here. Yes, Jesse made the right call with his bowling coverage. We are a rough and tumble bunch and don't take too kindly to anti-Everest sentiment. Did I just see Jesse in the studio?
I was wearing a blue shirt.
The font for
I was
you?
wearing a blue shirt. Well, he literally had it up there, and it was this big, and he's thinking that I was going to be reading it.
God forbid the guy know how to maximize his own window on a computer.
We got to
go take it. Yes.
Where's old girl when you need her?
At the undisclosed location.
This
is why we want him there.
She's not in the kitchen. We know that.
Lols.
All right. It feels like not the right time to discuss Junior Bridgman's legacy. So instead, why don't you just keep us ahead on the clock and tell us about AmFam and what they've gotten going on with the Badgers.
Hey, Packer fans or Badger fans. Hey, Packer fans, dreaming of the ultimate draft day experience? Well, the American Family Insurance Dream Draft Sweepstakes is your chance to win a VIP trip up to the NFL Draft in Green Bay. And imagine this. It's like I'm doing the bowling championship. You and a guest could score exclusive tickets, hotel accommodations. Those are nowhere to be found if you're looking for a hotel around the draft. Custom merchandise and more. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you're not going to want to miss. Head over to amfam.com/Packers to enter today. That's amfam.com/Packers. No purchases necessary. Open to legal residents of the state of Wisconsin. Again, that's amfam.com/Packers. Dream fearlessly. Insure carefully.
More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
I just don't feel like Goody hits the home runs that merit holding on to draft picks like they're absolute gold. Because his first-round draft pick isn't gold.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Service. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
As you're putting your spring calendar together, we'd love to have you join us Saturday, May 17th for Mark Osiki's 7th Annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. We're on the Madison Chain of Lakes at 8 a.m., then back at the Alliant Energy Center at 2 p.m. for happy hour, dinner, and live and silent auctions, plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat. To sign up and get more info, go to castingforkids.org. Casting, 4kids.org.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Brewers baseball is in the air.
It's back, and it is up, and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Spring back into the baseball season on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love or starting the schoolyard fight. Make sure.
You know what that music means. Joining us now, he is the voice of Marquette men's basketball on the Marquette radio network.
Are you allowed to say that? Is that something that the brilliant, great 35 years, is he allowing you to mention that that's part of his resume?
Yeah, I don't need permission from him.
Ooh. You just ask for forgiveness?
No, I'm not going to ask for forgiveness either, because we celebrated his 35 years behind the microphone calling Marquette games.
Which year do you think his favorite is? Is it the D. Wade? You think that's his favorite of the 35?
We'll ask him because it's our show, and he told us that, and he apologized for saying we couldn't ask him about Marquette.
He don't make no apologies.
No, he did.
35 years.
He did. He apologized to me.
Oh, he did. Because that's one of his monikers. I don't make no apologies.
I really wanted to tweet saying I think Homer's great, but I think ESPN Milwaukee misinterpreted what Senior Day is when they said congrats to Homer on 35 years. Would that have been IPT or would that have been pretty good?
That would have been fun. He would have said Laos if you said that.
You also hear him on God Talk with Homer and Pip on YouTube, but most importantly, you hear him with the best 60 minutes of your day on the Homer Hour with Brian Bulaga and John Anderson and Tim Van Voren and me. Lots of, just a cavalcade of stars that join Homer every day at 5 o'clock. It is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, and man, I feel for you, Jason. Yes, we discussed that you can ask and say whatever you want about me. We had this discussion. I don't know where Tausch was. But
he's ornery today. He's stirring the pot.
I didn't realize he was that old. Excellent point on Senior Day. In fact, at one of the Senior Days, the fans, I think at Iowa State, all dressed up like senior citizens in honor of Senior Day to try to be funny. I thought that was very good. I don't think there was any connection. I've been asked about my favorite games or the top 5 players at Marquette, and my answer was Dwayne Wade, Dwayne Wade, Dwayne Wade, Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade. And Tony Smith said, well, that's kind of rude.
I agree.
Said, well, maybe.
Lols.
There were other great times, but nothing.
All right, so after the top 5 of Dwayne Wade, how does the rest of the list break down then during your 35 years behind the microphone?
Good. The team has been good. All that matters is that you win. Nobody remembers when you lose. I've never had anybody tell me they lost, but, man, you were really on your game. All people care about is winning, understandably so. So I've been lucky that the team has been good most years, and that's fun. Winning's great. Losing's horrible. Man, I can't think of the people that did the games before I came when Bob Duquette was the coach. They lost inter-squad games. They were so bad. Thanks, Nose. One of my favorites.
Good one.
But the people that go on the road, especially, they used to go on the road. And they, I think George Thompson did a few years with Tom Sutton. They never won a game. They lost every game they did for a couple years on all the road games on TV. How much fun is that? And then you got to lie about the team. Hey, we got a chance today, you know. So
35 years means your first year was 1990?
Right. I did 1 year, and then the radio station, WISN, said, we don't want to do it. We don't want our salespeople to do it. So they didn't do it. And Pat Hughes did a year with George Thompson, Kevin O'Neill's second year, and they were on Laser AM. Laser AM was hard rock to the 10th degree.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think Laser FM would have been a great choice. If they'd gone on Laser FM, I never maybe would have gotten back to do the games. But after 1 year of that, I think, I don't know for March Kessler, we can't do that. So they came back and came up with a group, 2 guys, Andy Friedrich, who played for Marquette but is famous for marrying Miss America, and John Council, who's now known as Craig Council's dad, put together a marketing group, and they did all the selling, and so then we went back on WISN, but we rode the bus because the guy they knew from the Brewers is the bus, and George Thompson's like, I don't go on no damn bus. So we would take the bus. I would take the bus, or Pat Hughes, who was then doing the games on TV with Al McGuire, and George was like, I'm flying. So George got to fly, and we did that for a couple of years.
And you.
Yes, George Thompson. George, the 2 most famous lines were that, and then Tom Crean decided he wanted us to help the bags. Like they had all the players put the bags on the charter to make the kids appreciate who they are and what they're getting. Of course, I think they still do that, even though they get paid tons of money. Anyway, so we were sitting on the plane.
Just wait, Tom Crean had the announcers loading the bags?
Hold on. Yes, he wanted the announcers to help load the bags because he came up. George and I were sitting on the plane, and he comes up and he says, hey, don't you guys know? And, me, I'm like, hey, I'll go down and do the bags. Fine. And George's quote, "I don't do no blanking bags." And he sat in his chair and didn't ever do a bag, ever.
It's one of the all-time greats in Marquette history. He probably deserved to be able to say that.
No, of course he did. He did.
You, on the other hand.
So, I mean, George, who am I? George, yes, and didn't do bags and didn't do buses. So, I've stated many times the great moment when he told Dwayne Wade after the win over Kentucky, "You're the best to ever play at Marquette, both for what you've done and what you will do." I do have it. Greatest moment ever doing the games. And then 2 years ago at the banquet, they wanted him to go, and he didn't want to go to the banquet. And he goes to the banquet just to talk to friends for a little bit. And Shaka says, "Can you get him to come to the banquet?" And he didn't know we were leaving before it started. And he convinced George, and he stood up there and said, "I want everybody to look George stand up." And he says, "George Thompson, everybody know the original Dwayne Wade." Oh, man. And how would Shaka know? No one told Shaka to say that.
Did he tear up a little bit when he
What?
said her? Did George tear up a little bit when he heard that?
No.
Okay.
But he was very appreciative.
Yeah,
and
should be.
No one. I never talked to Shaka about George Thompson. Shaka, among his other things, is a real great historian of the game, and so he knew how great George was, and that's a fact.
Okay, before we move on,
and I don't think. Yes.
Continue. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were
that's
taking
it.
a
That's
pregnant
all.
pause.
I'm done.
Was Tom Crean loading bags when he was down there?
I don't think so. No.
Interesting. I didn't realize.
Come on, you've had coaches.
No,
Coaches don't
but
do that stuff.
No, if they want others to, they do.
No. Oh, come on.
If they're pulling the announcing
come on.
team off the plane to load bags, they better be out there loading bags too. Tom, I didn't realize
Wow.
Tom Crean. I didn't know that you had this deal with Tom Crean. Like, I didn't realize that he's on TV.
What deal? What do you mean by
you
deal?
think he's a jerk and you don't think he's very good?
I don't have I ever said that?
No,
I
you
believe
have not.
I stated
I
on
haven't
this
heard.
show
No, you have
he
not.
is the greatest coach. I believe I've stated
I
about the
asked you
greatest
last
coach
week
in
and
the
you
history
said-
of college basketball because he provided Dwayne Wade.
Oh.
Let's check the tape.
All right.
You tried to get me to say various things. What I have said and will continue to say is that he was a very difficult person to be with.
You didn't love
those
him.
everywhere
All right,
he's
I'll
coached would
rephrase
agree
it.
with that. Well,
I know how that feels.
I'll rephrase it. You didn't love him. Fair?
No, I did love him.
Okay.
For one reason and
I
one
missed it.
reason
he
only.
brought
Wade.
Dwayne Wade to Marquette.
Yes. Everything else is like, okay, this is what I say about the NBA. The NBA is now the Lakers. Every other team is G League. Nothing matters but the Lakers because of the combination of LeBron James and Jokic or Dokic or Fred,
Jokic.
Luka Doncic.
whatever that
Doncic.
is.
Yep.
And they get all the attention. They deserve all the attention, but it's going to be tough for other teams, really good ones, Cleveland, Oklahoma City, Milwaukee, because they're all going to, we don't get any attention. No, you're getting none. You're all the G League. This season is all about can the Lakers do it because of the incredible amount of attention. Everything about Tom Crean. They don't have his name up as a banner. And I have stated to the people in charge, this is outrageous. It should be done yesterday. You
Even though
get
you
to
don't
the
like
Final
him.
Four, and
Yeah,
you
you don't
bring
like-
Dwayne Wade.
Okay, so-
no, some people are mad that he left to go to Indiana, I guess. I don't know. I'm not in those circles.
All
But
right,
that's
I
an
would like-
outrage.
Yeah.
I would like to get back
An
to
outrage.
the original.
Outrage, he says.
Outrage. Tony
I would
Bruno
like to-
used to say that.
I would like to get back to the original question.
What was it?
Because this I'm really intrigued by. So I'm not going to lulls you like Tausch did to the guy that offended him that he won't admit offended him. But the Dwayne Wade list, funny. I like it. But I would like to know in the non-Dwayne Wade category from 1990, 35 years calling these games. I'm looking at a list here. I've got Jim McIlvaine on it. I've got Steve Novak on it. Jimmy Butler.
Greatest shot blocker ever, greatest shooter on her, greatest
Wesley
defensive player ever.
Matthews, Marcus Howard,
Wesley Matthews
Dominique
had one of the great seasons ever. Unbelievable. Best jumper ever.
Now, you did not call Doc Rivers games.
I did not, no.
And you did
Most
not
people
call
say
George
they wanted to
Thompson's
know
games.
if I did Don Kojus games. who played
He's
in
on the
early
list.
60s.
Dean the
Yes.
Dream, Meminger, Tony Smith.
By the way, Don Kogis maybe should be in there with Dwayne Wade and George Thompson, but I'm not sure because it's like Don Hudson. It's too early for me. He was
Original.
good.
What do you always say? Original times? Is that what you?
Old Testament.
Old Testament.
Damon Key, Anthony Pieper. So who are
Damon
your
Key, turn, shoot, scores. Oh, what a mid-range
Who are
baseline
your
jumper.
top from your 35 years behind the mic? So George Thompson, despite his
Yes.
greatness, doesn't qualify for this list.
is
Doc
hard.
Rivers doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
Terry Reasons doesn't qualify because I used to love pretending to be Marquette players in my basement. Who are your top 5 after D. Wade?
Wow, this is really hard because they're all.
Travis
I probably have
Diener.
like
Did I
10.
mention Travis Diener?
Travis Diener is.
You didn't.
Travis Diener's up there. I always give him credit. I always want to for making Dwayne Wade competitive. I don't believe that Dwayne Wade was competitive. He was just incredibly talented, and I think Diener challenged him. And I'm not even sure that's true, but I give Diener that credit.
It's a good
he's
story,
up there. Tony Smith had one of the greatest seasons ever his senior year, my first year. Wesley Matthews had one of the greatest senior years ever his senior year. But so I'd have to really think about that because, Marcus Howard has to be there. He scored a gazillion points. But so much to me is about winning. For example, the most underrated is Vanderblue. Vanderblue played 3 years, Sweet 16, Sweet 16, Elite 8. It's the greatest run ever in terms of 3 years like that. So he's got to be up there. Jimmy Butler and then Jay Crowder. So they're I'd have to think about picking the 5, and I would feel bad because to me they're all part of that group of maybe 10 or even more. And Tony Miller, he's enough. So, all right, the names that should be up above on the banners because they're now, I think, at Marquette going to retire jerseys, not numbers. They started this with Jim Jones. Certainly Tony Miller has to be up there. He had like 8 zillion assists. His teammates say he ran the whole team, and they upset Kentucky to make the Sweet 16. So Tony Miller will be up there. Jimmy Butler. It's just I've got to go. Jarrell McNeil's like 3rd in scoring. If I forget somebody, and the problem is they're all the same.
Who was your favorite?
A level before.
Who was your favorite color analyst that you worked with?
Who is my favorite
your favorite color analyst that you worked with?
Oh, nice.
Well, no, I'm asking.
Tausch really wants to. No. Don't even humor him.
Jason?
Stop. Tausch.
Why? I humor him.
No. Because you know what he's doing. This is how he's
what
been
am I
for the
doing?
first 45 minutes
What
of the
am I
program.
What is he
I'm
doing? I don't know what he's doing.
I'm asking an interesting
He's
question.
being a dink.
He's wanting to see how stupid I am.
No,
he's wanting to see how
being a
stupid I am.
dink.
Like, he's stupid
Not
enough.
true.
He'd really answer this.
That is not true.
What he
Steve.
wants.
Steve.
What he wants is the best Tom Crean story. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
That's what Tausch wants.
Right?
Isn't that what you want?
I don't. No, I've heard enough. I'm not a Crean guy now. I'm out on Crean.
All right.
You're not a Crean guy. What? I'm a Crean guy.
No, you're not. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't.
I just said.
I know what you said. I just don't believe it. That's all right.
I said I want his name and jersey or whatever I put up there. I don't know.
No, I believe you.
At the top, how can you not
that's fine.
appreciate someone?
No, you can
Some
appreciate.
people are difficult. You're difficult. I still like you.
Very nice.
That's the truth.
Not very nice.
Yeah. You got a lot more time in Crean, a lot more Tom Crean in you than you realize.
I think you got a lot. I think you got a lot more than I do.
Oh, baby, this is good. Whenever Tausch does something, you just say, thanks, Tom Crean.
Creany.
Yeah.
Just say Creany. Come on,
thanks, Creany.
Come on, Creany.
Oh, this is the greatest show I've ever done. Thanks, Creany.
Creany.
All right. I would like to talk with you because you have historical knowledge and because you won't change the subject.
Who is more pleasant, Forrest Gregg or Tom
God.
Crean?
Tom Crean.
Wow.
Not even close.
Now that is an
even close.
indictment of Forrest Gregg.
Wow.
Crean City.
Well, you take it however you wish.
Crean City.
I would like to talk to you about Junior Bridgeman, and then I would like to talk to
I got great Junior Bridgman stories.
Perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Not many, because I wasn't around him that much, but the times I watched him play all the time when following that Bucks team. But
all right.
the first time I met him, Do you have a question? I should probably.
No, he wants to go to break and then bring you back.
I would like to take a break and
But
come
he's-
back
he's
and
too
talk.
nice. He's the anti-Creenite. He doesn't want to go to me.
What is your deal today?
I don't know, just having fun. Trying to have some fun.
Jason, I'll answer your questions. Creenies, no.
Great. We will continue.
But he deserves a banner.
With Uncle Homer on Wilde and Creen. Stick around.
We're on the Bucks
He's one of those guys that can absolutely dominate. He can activate that MVP mode.
because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
And you know when Giannis is right, he can carry his team across the finish line.
Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. A good sign, Max Glesman appearing to practice with the team again. The Neenah product recovering from an ankle injury, missing the last 3 games. During his latest appearance on the Jump Around Digital Show, here's Nolan Winter on Klesmit's impact.
He's just one of the dudes that even when he's out, he's still having the presence like he's there. He's yelling at us from the bench. He's trying to coach as best as he can. So he's itching to get back out there. So I know whenever the doctor gives him even like a little yellow and maybe green in his light, he's ready to go out there and he's going to give it his all. He loves the state of Wisconsin, so he can't wait to go out and compete.
Wisconsin tips off Big Ten tourney play Thursday.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
For their accounts payable workflow, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin implemented a document management and workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems. Junior Achievement Vice President of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, highlights the positive impact.
That impact has made it much more streamlined for us to handle the entire process from receiving an invoice to having it paid.
How has streamlining your accounts payable workflow benefited Junior Achievement's mission?
It has allowed us to be more on mission and strategically reach out and expand our impact to be able to reach more students.
If others are looking for workflow automation solutions to better serve their clients or customers, what's your suggestion?
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
with Uncle Homer as we celebrate his 35 years behind the microphone calling Marquette men's basketball games. But we're done with the Marquette. It's the Marquette Hour. It's been your Marquette moment presented by Saganiac Planning. I appreciate you allowing us. What?
Well, no, I felt like I neglected to mention Cam Jones, who's probably going to become Marquette's. He is going to become Marquette's second all-time leading scorer. And Tyler Kolek, the Big East Player of the Year, and they won the conference and the tournament. But so
you've covered a lot of great players. I should have mentioned them. They're certainly in that group, yeah. But so much for me is right or wrong is the NCAA tournament. Those are the things that stand out the most to me. Who did the best in the tournament? That's why I mentioned Vanderblue and why Tom Crean needs to be up at the top of the Fiserv Forum by yesterday. Well, it's hard to do well in the tournament. That's I mean, I was at UConn. I still can't believe it. 6 championships since '99.
How many years did you work at UConn?
Only been in 7. None. But I can't. Like, that's just not possible with 3 different coaches. That's UConn. What is UConn? You never met anybody in your life that said, I want to go to UConn as a college student? Never. It's the greatest. It's the greatest program in college basketball, men's college basketball, in the sense of different coaches in the last 50, 60, 70 years. UCLA was one guy, Johnny Wood, and this is 3 coaches, 6 titles. It's nothing even close.
And John Wooden cheated, as I've learned from you.
No, he cheated like no one has ever equaled.
Destroying our heroes, one hero at a time, Steve, the Homer True.
Go listen to Bob Knight talk about him late when Bob Knight in his life, and they asked him, respect him as a coach, not as a person or whatever he said, because he was a great coach, but he said he didn't know anything was going on. So
it's called plausible deniability, is what I think they term that.
Okay.
All right, I'm
not buying it.
If I may.
No one else is. Yes.
I would like to shift gears if I could. Let's move on.
Thank you.
And I would like, because obviously you mentioned this in the first segment, you had multiple interactions over the years, and you obviously watched him play. But I don't know if there is anyone in the history of sports who has done what Junior Bridgeman, who passed away yesterday at age 71, did, going from a professional athlete to becoming a billionaire because of his incredible business acumen. Like, he didn't get paid the kind of money that Tom Brady has gotten paid as a player and now as an analyst, and then had that much money. What he did, he never made more than $300,000 in a season during his NBA career, and he became a billionaire, became a part owner in the Bucks. I'm curious, Homer, when you saw this news, your instant reaction, but also your thought, what you thought about when you thought about him and what he accomplished, both as an athlete and as a entrepreneur.
I think you're correct on that. There certainly should be a movie about him, because there was nothing that special that you would have thought. Like, Shaquille O'Neal had some great comments about him because he had talked to Junior Bridgeman, because like Shaquille O'Neal wants to be a billionaire. So he studied those people that had done amazingly well. And then Junior Bridgeman was clearly at the top of the list. I had a problem because none of that had the same input on me as the fact that the first time I met Junior Bridgeman after he was done playing, I never said this. I said, I just want you to know, I know more about you than you do. He goes, I don't think so. I go, no, I'm a kid growing up in South Bend, Indiana. South Bend St. Joe's had 2 players, Tom Abernathy, John Laskowski. Abernathy was on the unbeaten team at Indiana. Laskowski was on the team the year before that would have been great, but someone else got hurt. And they're on the same high school team, and they win our area, and then they go and they're playing East Chicago, Washington. I didn't even know there was an East Chicago. Anyway, and they played them reasonably close, but didn't win. I didn't know who these guys were on East Chicago, Washington at all. They go on, they win the state tournament, they're unbeaten, and then Junior Bridgeman who wasn't even the best player on the team. As I remember, he was the third best player on the team. They had a kid, Pete Trigovich, who was the number one player in the country, went to UCLA. They had another kid, Tim Stoddard, who was on the national championship team at NC State and went on to play baseball and won a World Series ring with the Orioles. Then there was Junior Bridgeman. Like, how could a team be that good? He wasn't even the best player. So everything about Junior Bridgeman always goes back to that, which, of course, is totally irrelevant compared to all the amazing things he did as a player. That was Sidney Moncrief's team. He was never the star of that team. He didn't even start. I think he was a sixth man. But he was good enough there to get Banner. And then, everything he's done, very nice, I've never heard one even average word about Junior Bridgeman, because you wonder, and no one's going to say it, how can somebody that nice be that rich? Like, to be that successful as a businessman, don't you have to be tough? Don't you have to be like Donald Trump some way? Don't you have to use people a little bit, or be mean to them, or just be so obsessed? And he was like, Mr. Rogers becomes a billionaire. That's Junior Bridgeman. He probably wouldn't use that connection. But so, I hope they do a movie. They should do a movie on him, because it is an incredible, great American story. And to do it in the manner and tone that he did.
Homer, how did he pull it off? You just said he's a nice guy. Nobody said.
Well, I think.
Do you know his blueprint as far as how he pulled that off?
Well, he did it with he bought franchises in fast food. I think it was Wendy's, or he did it all.
They serve
and
ice
I'm kind
cream,
of
so
quoting
that's okay.
what Shaq said. And then it was in Forbes or something, but he did it all through buying all these franchises, massive numbers of them. And then in recent years, he passed that along maybe to his kids, and then he bought Coke not dealerships.
They don't serve ice cream.
Bottling, yep.
No.
Okay. All right.
So I think it seems not that difficult, but no one else did it, and it as well as there's a guy who played for the Bucks who bought KFCs. It's not work. I can't remember his name. He played for Kentucky, I think. But anyway, who's tried to copy what Junior Bridgeman did?
Ricky Jean-Francois?
It's Jamal Mashburn. I think you're thinking of Mash.
Jamal Mashburn,
yep.
Yes.
He did that.
Yep.
Yeah, all I'll say on this, and on my morning hit with Vinny and the boys on WTMJ, they were asking about so many athletes go broke and all this other stuff. And it's interesting because Magic Johnson has crushed it post-career with all of his ventures, and I think he emulated a lot about Junior Bridgeman. Junior Bridgeman is the guy. When you talk to other athletes, how you go about your business, Junior Bridgeman was the trailblazer. He was the guy that everybody, because of the things, Jason, you mentioned, he didn't earn $750 million in his playing career. He went and figured it out and found a way, and I think most athletes, don't matter what sport, you would look and say, how did this guy do it? Oh, and he is kind of that the beacon, if you will, for seeing and trying to emulate. Now, of course, very few people can do it, and it was a different time and whatever and ever, but that, from a legacy standpoint, the basketball stuff, it will be, from the athletic standpoint, God, did that guy know what he was doing when it came to making money off the court.
Mm-hmm. Well said. I just, for me, having grown up watching those Bucks teams, I don't know if there's been, other than Robin Yount, I don't know if I've been more thrilled to meet people than when I've gotten to meet Marcus Johnson, who's been on the show, Sidney Moncrief, and Junior Bridgeman. Like, those were the guys that I grew up pretending to be in my driveway on the south side of Milwaukee. And what Homer said about him, I think, and what you just said, Tausch, I think that is backed up by, if you look at the high-profile professional athletes that spoke about his passing yesterday. You're talking about Shaq. You're talking about Charles Barkley. Magic, right? For a guy who was the sixth man on an 80s Bucks team that could never get past the Sixers or the Celtics, for him to have had that kind of impact on those type of players that came after him,
pretty cool.
Tells you everything you need to know about what he did with his entrepreneurship and his business acumen after being a very good player whose number is in the rafters at Fiserv Forum. Homer, Your number is in the
Yes.
rafters of Wilde and Tausch. I'm not sure you're ahead of Tyler Kolek.
Creaney, can you work, because you now have a bond with Tom Crean? Can you now work on getting that Tom Crean banner atop Fiserv Forum? Because you certainly carry more weight.
Like,
people would be impressed. The voice of Wisconsin believes in something so strongly that even though it's a Marquette person.
It doesn't sound, I mean, I know you're saying all the right things, but I don't know if you really believe that. So, no, I'm not
What
going
do I
to.
have to do?
I don't know. We'll
get the
talk
lie
off air.
detector test.
We can talk off air. I don't buy it.
We don't have
buy
to
what
talk
you're
off
saying.
air any air. Jason, what do you do when Creaney does this, where he doesn't?
I prefer
he
two
denies,
N's in Creaney,
he's
by the way.
basically saying you're a big liar.
No, I'm not saying you're lying. I just don't believe you. That doesn't mean that could be that I'm wrong, but I don't buy it. That's all.
Oh, okay. If I look at it that way, I'm okay. Yeah. I will not use Creaney anymore after today.
Creaney.
For today, it's been fabulous.
That was fun. That was really fun.
Homer, before we say goodbye, when does Marquette open Big East tournament play, and who do they have in the first round?
Exactly the same time, I think, as Wisconsin plays. 1:30 tomorrow.
Ooh.
A tough draw. Xavier's playing very well. And then if Marquette would win, they would get another chance at St. John's. But
the Johnnies.
And actually, because of the tiebreakers, if Marquette dropped to a fifth seed, Xavier's the fourth. But it doesn't really matter. They would have played each other either way.
Where's Marquette?
Yeah, I'd like
where do you think Marquette gets? Are they going to be a 7th seed? Is that kind of where they're slotted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just get
Steven?
warmed up here. I know others don't like my attitude on the Big East tourney. While it's fun, the NCAA tourney is everything. So get them ready.
True.
Get them ready.
Let's go.
Homer, we appreciate you. Thanks.
My pleasure. Next.
My pleasure. I'm not sure that's true. What is my pleasure is to hear Tausch tell us about Prize Picks.
Over 10 million members. There's a guy that I know loves Prize Picks. Billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. You can run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. And you guys know, I am not tech savvy at all. This app is super easy to use. Create a lineup. All you have to do, pick more or less on at least 2 player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. I am going to piggyback off of Jesse this weekend.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to do. I am just going to start. I'm rolling with Jelly. I am going to roll with the Gelmeister. Whether it's the college tournament, games down the stretch of the pro basketball season, baseball, or any of the other favorites, Prize Picks is the best place to turn your sports opinions into cash. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI to get $50 instantly. Prize Picks.
Run.
I'm done participating in this.
Oh,
every time
you're
when
such
I
a powder.
I'm
God,
done.
you are such a powder.
I started it
Run
yesterday.
your
Then you just
game.
did the whole phrase.
Run
Yeah,
your
I'm done.
game.
I'm out.
Run
I'm
your
out.
game.
Hey, I got one for you, Tausch.
All right, what do you
We're
got?
both here in studio. There's games starting at 10:30 and 11. We could do a first half projection. We could find out live on the air if we're winners today.
I'm in. Let me
Let's
know
do
what you
it.
want to do.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
That will occur during the 10 o'clock hour. Lots of other fun things will as well. And it starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Creaney.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Sometimes it's okay to think you know, but when it comes to the right car seat for your child's age and size, don't just think. No. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. NFL free agency technically officially opens today. But wait a minute, all this free agency stuff's been happening all week. That's because the legal negotiating period is what opened on Monday, but teams can officially sign players as of later today. Plenty to talk about on the NFL free agency front. Wilde and Tausch have you covered. Coming up next as we continue till noon here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. You can also check out the latest updates from ESPN Packers reporter Rob Domofsky over at ESPNWisconsin.com. NBA, did you see how the Bucks game ended last night? Gary Trent with the go-ahead three with 3.9 seconds left. Pacers then get it on the other end of the floor. Dave Kane takes you the rest of the way.
Here comes the inbound pass. Nembhard gets it to Halliburton. Off balance, the three. He hits it with a foul. You have got to be kidding me. Tyrese Halliburton heaves it up with 3 seconds on the clock.
Halliburton makes the free throw. Pacers win 115-114.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And since we have not discussed the Green Bay Packers at all to this point, let's talk about a guy that now plays for the Las Vegas Raiders, and that is Eric Stokes, the 2021 first-round draft pick by the Packers. Gets a 1-year, $4 million deal from the Raiders. So basically the Packers traded Eric Stokes to the Raiders for Nate Hobbs.
Well, they paid a lot more for Hobbs.
They did, but they still, those guys going in opposite directions. You say it all the time.
You think Stokey can be a good player yet?
I don't know.
Sounds like a no to me.
If you play 1,175 snaps the last 3 years and you do not break up a pass or intercept a pass.
Is it because nobody targeted him?
That is not, I don't think, the reason. He's really fast. He had some good moments his rookie year. There's no denying that.
I'm going to say this, and I said this then. He was a really good rookie the second half of that season. And I don't remember. You'd have to help me with the timeline on his injuries, but you really felt he was going to elevate. And that's
9 games into his second year was when he suffered the Lisfranc injury on his foot.
I believe Jair is kind of at the height of his powers during that era, right? Is that a fair assessment? The 21 season.
The 21 season was the year that Jair tackled Najee Harris and batched up his shoulder.
Spit it out.
Hurt his shoulder.
So here's kind of how it works. Jair elevates himself and he becomes the guy, right? He has the picks in the Tampa NFC Championship game, and that was kind of the height of his powers. He gets hurt. And I think Stokes went from he was going to get a lot of action his rookie season because teams target rookies. Teams want to see how you respond. And I thought Eric Stokes responded in a really good way. I was really excited to see him go, and it's because he has everything you're looking for, right? He's got the speed, he's got length. He should have been a guy that you were thinking about having to pay bonko dollars this offseason or last offseason. And unfortunately that didn't happen. And it's another kind of tale to tell that every year that you're not kind of making that jump, coaches always say you're either getting better or you're getting worse, you're never staying the same. Eric Stokes, he never made that big jump.
Nope.
And then along with that confidence, the young players need to see success. Then they need to grow their confidence, and it can't be the fake confidence. It's got to be proven to themselves. And I don't know if he ever got that. He was put in a tough spot because he was going to get targeted. He was going to get challenged a bunch. And I thought handled that first part of it really well. And then I don't know if he did. And then you pile on injuries that will strip away confidence. So maybe this, and for his sake, not from a Packer fan standpoint, because I think most Packer fans, when guys leave, you don't want to see him go off and play great. Like, no Packer fan was excited when Casey Hayward balled out. No. Everybody's like, what the hell did we let him go for?
Micah Hyde.
I think change of scenery and a reset with a new staff in a new place that is not going to be, he's a first-round pick. Now he's got that, well, let's see.
Reclamation project.
And we can't see. And for his sake, I hope he goes and plays really good football because obviously he has a skill set, but it has not translated on the field. And I think from Green Bay's standpoint, it's at some point you gotta prove it. It's the Justin Fields. Everybody makes excuses. Well, why is he? Well, he ain't going to have any more excuses. He's got his opportunity in New York, and that's it. He's going to have his opportunity out in Las Vegas, and if it doesn't work, he is going to be one of those guys that's on emergency boards, and people are picking up just in case. Nobody will count on him moving forward if he doesn't do it out in Las Vegas.
If he's not a first-round pick, does he even get this deal, though?
I think he gets a smaller deal, and probably, I think you're seeing kind of what Kevin King had to go through in battle.
A year out of football.
I think it was more probably Kevin King had to come to grips, and I don't know his injuries, so I'm speaking a little bit out of turn, but there is a humbling as a first and early pick that when maybe the money and the opportunities aren't what you think you deserve, you find out you ain't deserving anything. You got to go prove it. And I think I think Stokey is going to be in that spot where now he knows. And sometimes getting that little extra kick in the keister is a good thing because you get that sense of desperation that we as late picks live with our whole careers.
Right.
And that is something that you either utilize for good or you give in. Some guys give in and it's over. Most guys fight, scratch, and claw, and that's what makes them the players that they are. Because that talent gap, while sometimes can be pretty big, NFL, again, I've said it a million times, there's 10 or 15% that have that gap that it's just like, that catch, that's him. He is him, as the kids say. And then there's 70 to 80% of us that it's just who wants it more, who fits best, and who is going to earn the trust of the coaches to do it. And you get that by just being relentless in your pursuit of keeping your career.
That Lisfranc foot injury is generally a problematic injury for a lot of guys, especially ones that rely on speed. He had that. Then he had all the hamstring problems. So after 25 games of his NFL career, you have one view of him. Then he gets hurt in Detroit. He only played 3 games in 2023 with all the hamstring stuff. But let's be honest here, too. We get to the end of the season last year, and the Packers made it very clear who was a starter and who was not. He played 5 snaps against the Bears, and he played 1 snap in the playoff game against Philly.
Yeah.
He was not part of their rotation.
No, it was time.
His departure doesn't surprise me.
No, I think everybody kind of assumed that was going to be the case, and I think if Green Bay had any inkling that he could turn it around for them, $4 million, it's not popcorn money, but it's that pulled kielbasa. I don't know that
part of the ticket raise.
What is that? It's the neck ring bologna,
the horse
collar bologna, where it's it is not a cumbersome expense to bring a first-round pick back that if you have any belief that they can still get it done. Obviously, the Packers, I think, will spin it as it's going to be a good opportunity for him to find a different path forward.
Change of scenery.
But in honesty, what you look at is say he's not going to be good enough to do what we ask, and that's why we're moving on.
All right, I want to get to what this means for a couple of draft classes from the Goody era and get your thoughts on that. We'll do that after you tell us about your thoughts on Coors Light.
Oh, it's brewed with that 3-step cold press. It's been beautiful. We got a fun little road trip tomorrow that I feel very certain will be filled with some Coors Lights post-show. Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold package, so it is made to chill as I'm watching the Badgers go on their tear to win the conference championship on the way to a Final Four. It'll be Coors Light sitting there in my seat next to me. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp. It's only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We're going to take a look at the 2020 and 2021 Packers draft classes.
And I also want to take a look at the contract info from old Banksy. We'll shore up all of those details on that because I'm intrigued. That tells you a little story, too. The little Banksy story.
More next. It's Wilde and Creaney.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, if we asked the experts to project a seeded bracket of auto dealers, we would know for sure that Zimbrick Chevrolet would be a number 1 seed. Whether you're in need of a quick tune-up or a minor repair from the outstanding service team, or it's time to begin the process of buying a new or used vehicle with a friendly salesperson, Zimbrick Chevrolet is truly the name you can trust. But you don't have to just take my word for it. Stop by Main Street in Sun Prairie to see for yourself why Zimbrick Chevrolet is consistently recognized as a best of Madison operation. And to see service options or to check out new and used vehicle inventory, start by logging on to ZimbrickChevrolet.com to see all that Zimbrick has to offer. A slam dunk number 1 seed for any auto experience. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie. The name you can trust.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
John Tonje, I don't think he is the pro prospect that Johnny Davis is, but I think John Tonje, I don't care portal or not, I think he is the most impactful recruit in the grade guard era.
When you're the first player since Michael Finley to go back-to-back games with scoring 30 points, that is great company for John Tonje to be in.
The Jump Around podcast with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias, streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
We're on the Badgers.
Who would have thought after 2 seasons
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
that Greg Gard would have less of a hot seat than Luke Fickell?
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
This ain't a good time, but when is it ever? I know the perfect time, and maybe that's never. So don't you dare leave me now. Throw my heart on the ground. 'Cause tonight ain't the night for sorrow.
Tausch wants to get to the contract numbers for his guy Banksy.
God, I am fascinated by what's going to happen up front. I think it's really interesting. I see Elton Jenkins is tweeting a bunch. Hasn't tweeted a lot in the last year or two. So start thinking.
So we'll talk a little bit about the 2020 and 2021 draft classes and who remains from those classes a little bit later. Over the cap.
There's nobody left, right? I mean, Jordan Love and who else you got?
Isaiah McDuffie.
The Duffster. Okay.
And when Josh Myers goes somewhere else, that's it. That's the list. So I want to get into that. We'll get into that during the 11 o'clock hour.
Love it.
Let's talk a little bit about the Aaron Banks contract. Over the Cap was the first to unearth the details of that deal, and they are follows.
Do you think we should start doing what? Why are players' stuff so transparent? Like, do you find that interesting? Do you think everybody on earth should be as transparent as NFL football players and basketball players with their salaries? Like, isn't it kind of crazy that we're sitting here and just dissecting that? Like, would it be fine if we're just dissecting, like, what Hunter out here? Hunter, how much you make? Let me go over the cap with Hunter Vaughn. No, I'm just asking.
Are you really comparing Hunter Vaughn
I'm just curious.
to professional athletes?
For people that cover it, it's kind of... I'm intrigued. Like, it's just funny to me that we're... Because, listen, I'm super intrigued by what the Banks contract means and everything else. But do you find that interesting, or am I an outlier on that?
Yeah, I don't find that interesting.
Okay. Jesse?
Not really, actually, at all. Like, I think one of the more boring things we talk about is, like, money when it comes to, like, what people are getting paid. Like, just give me the contract.
Well,
I like knowing the guaranteed money. And besides that, I don't really care about all the other stuff. Me personally.
Huh.
I know for some people, the salary cap and, like, diving into how to stay under the cap and how to shift things, like, that's really interesting to some people. It is not interesting to me.
Okay.
I would argue that in professional sports, the money is so directly tied to so much else that goes on. Who gets released, who gets signed, who gets re-signed, who gets extensions. Those are all a major part of... Jair Alexander is going to be released possibly as soon as today.
Breaking news. Oh, I didn't know that for sure.
That's what the word possibly means. But the reality is that the money matters, and they have a salary cap, and we have wagering on their sport. So all this stuff ties together, including contracts and what happens. Because, to your point about your guy Banksy, which is that what we're going to call him on this show?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call him. You could call him whatever you want.
Aaron.
Banksy is what I like, yeah.
So he's got a 4-year deal. It's worth $77 million total. $29 million signing bonus.
Ooh.
Fully guaranteed, obviously.
That's a 2-year commitment then.
Now, that is the only guaranteed money in his deal. And he's got a low, his cap hit for this year is $9 million. He's the third highest paid left guard in football.
Ooh.
But more importantly, and this is what I find interesting, because obviously, as Tausch just said, $29 million is a 2-year commitment.
Yes.
You're not going to give him $29 million and then cut him after 1 year.
Unless he really stinks.
He'd have to be really bad.
Yeah.
But he does have roster bonuses that are pretty big. You know, we talked about with Jair Alexander how the fact that he does not have a roster bonus, so there's not necessarily a deadline to move on from him. Banksy has 2 very large $9.5 million roster bonuses in March of 26 and March of 27.
So realistically, then, Jason, you're saying $38 million fairly confidently is going to be in his pocket.
Yeah,
after
because
2
again,
seasons.
they're going to pay that first roster bonus, no doubt.
You would
but it's
think,
still
yeah.
right, and then they'll probably convert it to signing bonus so they can spread it out and everything else. But then if they get 2 years in, much like with Nate Hobbs, much like they structured the deal with Josh Jacobs, in case he wasn't what he turned out to be, they can cut bait.
Yep.
And so I think it's really, to Tausch's point, I think it's
if you will.
You can take that to the bank, lols. I want to get to Michelle Smallmon is scheduled to appear next. I want to get to her somewhat on time, unlike when we have Evan Cohen on the show. So
what does that tell you, Jason? You see that structure.
It tells me that they're committed to him for 2 years, and then they're going to see what happens.
Yeah. I
mean, it's pricey for those 2 years, but that's what it tells me.
It's the price of doing business, and I think one of the
needing to
things
fix your line
it does tell you that for all of the Josh Myers is playing his best football and all of this other stuff. When we were sitting there talking about breakdowns and some stuff interior, the Elton Jenkins injury. I think hyper-exposed that. But what it tells you is Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst felt like we are not going to get to where we want to go by keeping that group status quo. Mm-hmm. And we need to make a big play because from the outside, everybody has been looking at it and wide receiver and defensive end and corner. And the boys that are making the decisions up at Lambeau are saying, well, we want to get better there too, but this is the most glaring thing because whether it's the Monday of illegal tampering or the Wednesday of legalized signings, your most glaring big boy moves happen there. The ones that are going to get all of the juice. Mm-hmm. And the Packers are, again, don't listen to what they say. Listen to what they do. And what they have done is just given Banksy a fortress of cash to play with. And that tells you that they needed to solidify their front line, and he is going to be a catalyst for that.
I need you to talk to our friends at Quick Trip. I have an idea for them.
Oh, okay.
So Sid and I stopped at Quick Trip after volleyball practice last night, and we had I wouldn't call it heated debate, but certainly a debate on which dunkers to get.
Oh, it's been a tough deal. A lot more flavors.
6-pack,
yep.
Right? They've got chocolate, they got banana,
you
they
want
got
an
blueberry,
assorted pack. You want
they got cherry, they've got the cream.
Yep.
I
banana.
would like one of each. I want a variety pack. Can someone get on board with this? The Dunkers variety pack.
Do you think that variety pack would outsell the normal?
I'm not a business mind, so would that hurt their sales of the 6-packs of all one flavor? I don't know.
Yeah,
but I know this: if they had a Dunker variety pack last night, Sid would have gotten her cream one, and I wanted to try the banana one again. And instead, we settled on cream because I usually give in to people that want something in my family.
Well, Quick Trip gets that, Jason. Life is busy, and whether you're craving fresh coffee, which I got on East Wash on my way in this morning, Quick Trip is your go-to. Quick Trip has a variety of apps and meals ready when you are as well. Plus, you always got to make room for dessert. Nature's Touch ice cream. Get a gallon of chocolate or vanilla for $4.99 a gallon of ice cream. Wow. But wait, there's more. Quickery white bread, 99 cents a loaf. Get a 12-pack of sodas, 2 for $10. Kitchen Cravings bacon wrapped pork loin, 4 for $5. Warm up on those chilly days with the bag of soup, $6.99 every Tuesday for 36 or 40-ounce bags. That's a big bag of soup. And I can't get through talking about Quick Trip without mentioning that great chicken. Roasted whole chickens on special for $6.99 on Mondays. And we also stopped at Quick Trip last night. We got the 2 for $7 for reals. For real, we did. For real.
For real, that's a good deal.
We
for
completely
real.
did that. Whether it's a quick bite or a dinner on the go, Quick Trip is the ultimate destination. Fuel your day with quality taste. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. On every visit, you order ahead for pickup or for curbside delivery. And Quick Trip, we'll see you next time.
Good thing you started that Pella read at 9:11 in the first segment, because now we'll get to Michelle Smallmon. Only 5 minutes late, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
The 25th Annual Madison St. Patrick's Day Parade is taking place on Sunday, March 16th at 1:30 around the Capitol Square. Join in for an afternoon of music, dancing, and family-friendly fun featuring two Grand Marshals this year, Amber Noggle and Brandon Taylor. Don't forget incredible acts like the Kissers, Bucky Badger, the UW Marching Band, and Madison Bagpipers. Donations make it possible. Huge thanks to our sponsors, JP Cullen and J&K Security. Save the date, spread the word, and be part of Madison St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions, get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at two convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
The T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament on ESPN Radio.
Shoot is shoot. He puts up a shot, and it's good at the buzzer.
The T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Our friend Michelle Smallmon from Unsportsmanlike, who deals with Evan Cohen every day, is going to join us in a moment. But you have an opportunity to join her thanks to Travel Wisconsin at the draft. Travel Wisconsin is giving 10 lucky fans the chance to join Michelle from Unsportsmanlike at the draft in Green Bay. You and a guest could be there with Michelle. Now, you got to register by March 31st, so you got about 2 weeks left, so get on this. Experience Wisconsin's vibrant cities and amazing food scene with an elevated tailgate brunch with Kohler, Wisconsin. Enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes at travelwisconsin.com/draft. All right, that's travelwisconsin.com/draft for your chance to win. Epic moments that will become lifelong memories are waiting to be discovered across Wisconsin. Again, here's all you have to do. Register at travelwisconsin.com/draft before March 31st, and you could be one of the 10 super fans with a guest to win this epic trip to the draft, including round-trip airfare. I know we've got a lot of people outside Wisconsin who listen to the show, so that's big. 3 nights of lodging in Milwaukee, a VIP bus trip to Green Bay, and a special meet and greet with Canty and Michelle, and apparently Evan too, from ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike. So again, it's travelwisconsin.com/draft. And joining us now, she is a dyed-in-the-wool Packers fan, thanks to us. I don't know how her first year as a fan went, since they went 1-5 in the division and lost all the good teams on their schedule, and then were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. So, Michelle, welcome again to Wilde and Tausch, and welcome to Packers fandom. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me. And season 1 was good for me. I know that the end result was not what we wanted, of course, with an early play. And I cared about a football team in a long time. To feel again and to be welcomed by Packers fans the way that I was, and to have an emotional response week in and week out was amazing. But now we're on to year 2, and the expectations are there.
Do you feel the sense of urgency like Goody told us everyone else has to feel? That's nice. We're glad to see you feel that urgency. So I am curious, though, because once they were eliminated, I'm not saying you jumped off the bandwagon. That's not what I'm accusing you of. And certainly,
oh boy,
certainly
that's what you said on the show.
As
a can't root for the Lions.
No.
That's
all right.
what you
First
said.
of all,
That's
that's not what I said. I am not a fan, so I'm not telling people how to fan. I did maybe mention that might not go over great with some of your fellow Packers fans.
Michelle, doesn't that sound like he's kind of telling you how to fan? Am I crazy or am I wrong on that?
Oh, he's absolutely telling me how to fan. You're absolutely saying, I'm not telling you what to do, but here's what you should have done.
Yeah, I've been known to be that passive-aggressive before. The bottom line is you were pulling for the Lions, and I was pulling for that as a storyteller, too. That would have been a great story. They finally get to a Super Bowl. Didn't happen. Did you feel any of that blowback from your fellow Packers fans, or was I just the only critic, a lone voice in the wilderness?
I would say it was 50-50. And you have to understand where I was coming from. I wasn't saying, yay, Lions, like I would want them to win over the Green Bay Packers. All I said was, for a franchise who had suffered such historical agony, for them to be able to go on this run and finally win would be a great story. And to your point, we are storytellers. It would be good for business for me to watch them go on this run. And as much as we hate the other teams in the NFC North, and yes, I say we because I am a Packers fan, Dan Campbell does have a little je ne sais quoi. He is somebody that you feel like you can root for. And I just looked at, and I also said that because Jared Goff and I have a similar path here, that we were both dissed by the Rams. We were both discarded by the Rams. We don't want you. You're not good enough. We're on to pastures. So for him to go on and win a Super Bowl, that would be something I would cheer for. Now, it wasn't like I was cheering for the Chicago Bears. It wasn't like I was saying, oh, if the Packers get bounced from the playoffs, go Bears. I didn't do that. Okay. I know my role here. I know my place. But I would say there were a lot of Packers fans that said, no, you cannot cheer for any team in the North It's Packers or bust, but a lot of other people were on my side saying, yes, they have been the underdog for quite some time. Historically, scoreboard will always go to Green Bay, so if they get one, it's fine.
Yeah, but the Lions are they're the big dogs in the North right now. 2 straight years of North championships. They are our most heated rival. It's the Vikings had a surprise year. Detroit was favored coming in, and they got it done at least until the playoffs hit. So that, I think, is where Packer fans are coming. You can't. The Lions have been irrelevant for decades. They're not anymore, right. And that's why it's hard for Packer fans to look at and say, no. We can't come on board and root for them, regardless of the je ne sais that Dan Campbell has.
I'm sorry, the what?
Je ne sais.
Oh, oui, monsieur.
Really good. Good attempt.
Thanks.
Thanks for trying to raise our level
So,
here.
Michelle, I was watching this morning, and you went through a top 10 quarterback kind of ranking to see where different quarterbacks fit. And was I crazy? You had Jordan Love outside of your top 10. Was that a fair assessment of your quarterback rankings?
Let me grab the list. I have it right here.
Right.
Hang on.
This just came across her desk.
It hit the desk. Yes.
Here we have the list. So I had the top 5 just clustered together. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. Oh, I love the NFL music. Let's get this going.
That's just for this.
It's
Truly
the only segment
music
that we do
have.
that for. So, yeah, it's very special.
Then I had, rounding out the top 10, checking in at number 6, Jaden Daniels.
Is this what professional radio people sound like? Is that what they sound like? Because we certainly aren't that.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do Cantic's Power Rankings every week, and I love the number 5. The very dramatic number 5 voice. So I had Jaden Daniels, I had Matt Stafford, I had Jared Goff, CJ Stroud, and then I put Justin Herbert in there, and then honorable mention, because the entire genesis of the conversation is Evan Cohen saying that Brock Purdy's a top 10 quarterback. And I wouldn't put Brock Purdy over Jordan Love, and I wouldn't put him over Dak either. And I know that sounds crazy because he's been to a Super Bowl, but he's had so much talent around him. And then last year, 6 wins, once a lot of that talent wasn't there, and they had some injuries erode their team. So I just don't have as much confidence in Brock Purdy than I would Jordan Love. Even though I did not put Jordan Love in the top 10, I could make an argument for him.
Okay, so when you look back and your fandom started last year and you saw what Jordan did 2 years ago, especially at the back end of the season in the playoffs, did it meet your expectations for what you thought a second-year starting quarterback was, or did you expect more from Jordan, especially in those big games that we didn't find a way to win?
I expected more from him. It was inconsistent last year for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, he dealt with injuries, which is outside of his control, but those turnovers are in his control a lot of times. And I keep saying this, I need the Toyota-thon version of Jordan Love for an entire season. We need the back half of the season Jordan Love for an entire season. And until I see that, I can't put him over some of these other guys. But the good news is I fully think he's capable of it. I just need to see him put it together, and he is still early on in his playing career, or at least starting career. And I have high hopes for him. But coming into my fandom, coming off that playoff run they had, where he went into Dallas and absolutely embarrassed and decimated the Cowboys in Jerry's world, the way he played 49ers, a lot of people thought Jordan Love would be in the MVP conversation. So even though he certainly had those good moments, I would say year 2, underwhelming.
And then you look at the wide receiver spot, and Packer fans are clamoring. I know free agency starts here in a couple of hours officially. Does Green Bay need to make a move? I was on the get Devontae back here at whatever cost. That obviously didn't happen. What do you think of this crew? Because I thought that group was really disappointing last year, too inconsistent, and would love to see a veteran presence come in. What do you see?
I agree with you. I would have loved to see a Devontae reunion, but second, I heard that DK Metcalf would be available. I was salivating at that idea. Give Jordan Love another weapon, that big physical presence, give him another look, another wrinkle in that offense. Obviously, that didn't happen, and neither did Devontae. And maybe they still will go out there and add a piece. I hope that they do, because I'm with you. I think that they need to add a true number 1 receiver to this offense. We'll see how they accomplish that. I expected more so far in free agency from them. They've made some good moves. I love fortifying the offensive line and, of course, adding at corner. But I would definitely like to see them still add a receiver.
Talking with Michelle Smallmon of Unsportsmanlike, and I'm just sitting here listening to her going, welcome to being a Packers fan, Michelle. They got a guard in free agency. Oh, they got a nickel guy in free agency. That's actually a lot compared to many other years in free agency. So it is certainly not Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney in free agency like last year. All right, a few other things we want to get to. Again, we're excited to have you. Certainly, we're very proud for being the really the tip of the spear that led to your Packers fandom. We did most of the heavy lifting, let's be honest. But you got this great thing going on with Travel Wisconsin. I'll tell folks about it again after we're done with you. I do want to talk about the fact that Trey Hendrickson remains on the trade block. I'm guessing you guys have spent some time talking about him. He is a field-tilting player. He's also 30 years old. And again, welcome to Packers fandom. If you're 30 years old, Goody doesn't necessarily want you. Right now on their roster, they have one 30-year-old player, and it's Brandon McManus. That's it. That's the list. Do you agree with that philosophy, one? And then two, as a Packers fan, are you allowing yourself to get your hopes up for Trey Hendrickson, or have you learned that that's probably unlikely as well at this point?
So while I love this young group that they have, because they're interesting. They're young, but they have experience, right? They're still malleable and still growing together, but they've been in the playoffs, so they have a bit of that scar tissue. So they're a really interesting balance, which I love. But I am not going to say no to a Trey Hendrickson. Is there a contingent out there that's going to say no to Trey Hendrickson to the Packers? I would be ecstatic if that were to happen.
Well, I don't know what they're willing to give up. I don't know what they're willing to pay him because they'll have to do that. And again, he has celebrated his 30th birthday, so that leaves them in a challenging spot. All right,
this
so
is like
Michelle,
a Leonardo DiCaprio thing, right?
Yeah.
You know how Leonardo
Goody.
DiCaprio's joke is like he won't date anyone over 25? Is that how Goody operates? He's got like the Leonardo DiCaprio theory, or the Leo approach, we can call it.
I love this. I think this is what we should do going forward.
Can you zoom in? I literally wrote down the Leonardo DiCaprioization of the Packers on my notes here. So
you did?
Before
she said it, yes. Yeah.
Wow, great minds
thinking
we're right
alike.
Here.
Absolutely.
A lot of similarities between the two of you, yeah. So Michelle, before we let you go, you and I have been in the same place. You were at the Tundra Trio for one of the game when you came for a game, and then I managed to do our pregame show, and I never spoke to you. Was that your first and only trip to Wisconsin, or do you have other ones in your past? Because the draft with Travel Wisconsin is going to be obviously a big deal, and you're going to be here for it.
She also was in East Illinois, which I didn't know about. I heard that whole segment. East Illinois, which is St. Louis. By the way, I'm going to St. Louis for hockey. I need a recommendation for a great lunch or dinner spot when I'm down in the St. Charles area.
Say less. I've got you. I will text you some options, and then I will text my people and let them know you're coming.
Ooh, I like that, and I'll give a full report back. Fantastic.
Okay, good. I'm assuming you'll have a car?
That is correct. Yep, a Chevy Tahoe from Zurich Chevy.
Do you have any interest in being his navigator? Because it's a great job to have.
I'll say this. So we'll see Michelle up at the draft. I'm not going to put her through the Bartski thing where I'm not the easiest. I expect a lot from my passenger, Michelle. I want music to be played. I want to have conversation topics, and we're not stopping. We're going. We're going to do the 5 hours.
Hold your pee. Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of my deal.
We're on the same wavelength here. I actually was just telling Rob Lorenzo, our social and digital guy, that the number one barometer of a good relationship, like if you're on a date, you should say to yourself, could I do a 5-hour road trip with this person? Do they make me laugh? Do we have enough to talk about? Are they easygoing? Can the tunes be right? Will they be cool with snacks in the car? This is a barometer of a good relationship. And I'm the same way. I'm an amazing co-pilot. I'm happy to navigate.
What's the go-to snack? What's the snack that you go to?
Going to the University of Illinois and being in Chicago, or being in from Southern Illinois / St. Louis. I've done many a trips to Champaign and many a trip to Chicago. I can peel off a 5-hour road trip like nobody's business. I'm good on the aux. But the snacks, you have to stop at the gas station prior, because I'm like you. We're not stopping unless it's an A1 emergency. I always go with ranch corn nuts and a fountain root beer from a gas station.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Do not sleep on ranch corn nuts.
All right, I'm sorry, we're out of time. I've got one, Tausch. I don't need another. All right, we look forward to you coming to see us. We look forward to the draft. We appreciate that you did this from the Unsportsmanlike Studios, because the last time we had a non-Evan Cohen unsportsmanlike guest,
fake moonings.
There was the fake mooning incident with Warren Moon and Canty. So there's been a lot of kind of craziness that has occurred during these portions of our program. So we are excited for you to be in Wisconsin. We're excited for you and Tausch to drive 5 hours to Max's next hockey tournament, and then we'll see if there's really that level of compatibility as passenger
it will be
and
tested
driver.
for sure. There's no doubt.
It's all great in the theoretical until you actually experience it. That would be my warning to you. Michelle, we love having you. We think the world of you. We appreciate your time. Thanks.
Love being with you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. Again, I'm going to go through the information about the road trip, but
I feel like Evan and I and Michelle need to do a road trip now. I think that would be...
You're bumping Canty from the trip?
Get Lorenzo in there to take video and give updates.
I can just imagine how this would go. I mean, I think from an entertainment standpoint, for me, I would have to drive. I'd have to be the driver, and I'd let those two figure out how they want to approach
how would
this.
you align the car?
Great question.
It's a good question. I don't know, but I want this to happen. I think this could be really fun.
All right, we'll delve
We'll
in.
drive Wilde down to Wix and the boys down at their Airbnb.
Again, we appreciate Michelle's time. Again, she is part of this great package that Travel Wisconsin has put together for 10 lucky fans and their guests to join her and the Unsportsmanlike crew at the draft in Green Bay. Again, you and a guest could be there. You got to register, though, by March 31st. All you got to do is go to travelwisconsin.com/draft. Again, the deadline is March 31st. You and a guest, so 10 plus a guest for this epic draft trip. It includes round-trip airfare for all of you that listen to us in places outside Wisconsin, 3 nights lodging in Milwaukee, the VIP bus trip to Green Bay, and a special meet and greet with Evan, Canty, and Michelle from Unsportsmanlike. Again, the website is travelwisconsin.com/draft. We'll get back on the clock because that's why what we care about so much. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallmon, and coming up Thursday, the Commanders are trying to maximize Jaden Daniels' Super Bowl window, and I'll tell you what else they need to do to fulfill that dream. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, you know, I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. It was great then, and it's great making new memories with my family now. It is the best month of the year for basketball fans, and Pizza Hut is the perfect addition to your game day viewing experience. Whether it's a night in on your own or you're having the whole crew over to watch all of the best tournament action, stock up with some original stuffed crust pizza, wings with your favorite flavor sauces, or a bunch of the other delicious options Pizza Hut has to offer. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Brackets, buzzer beaters, and pizza. Make sure Pizza Hut is part of your tournament viewing plans this month. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Steinhoffels, make it your own event. Personalized colors, fabrics, and more. Save up to $800 and use Steinhoffels 18-month financing. Only at Steinhoffels. Max Glesman appearing to practice with the team again. The Neenah product recovering from an ankle injury, missing the last 3 games. During his latest appearance on the Jump Around Digital Show, here's Nolan Winter on Klesmit's Impact.
He's just one of the dudes that even when he's out, he's still having the presence like he's there. He's yelling at us from the bench. He's trying to coach as best as he can. So he's itching to get back out there. So I know whenever the doctor gives him even like a little yellow, maybe green in his light, he's ready to go out there and he's going to give it his all. He loves the state of Wisconsin, so he can't wait to go out and compete.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Drum roll, please!
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why less is more with Carbliss.
Being a kid isn't always easy, and dealing with anxiety, depression, or other mental health challenges can make life overwhelming. At Unity Point Health Meriter, the Child and Adolescent Psychiatry program is here to help. Their expert team provides compassionate, specialized care to support kids and teens on their journey to better mental health. To learn more about children and adolescent psychiatry and explore their resources, visit unitypoint.org/Madison, because no one should struggle alone.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
They did it again. For the 5th time, Siding Unlimited, the 30-year-old Wisconsin family-owned company, is the Pella Window and Door Company's Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year in the whole USA. Siding Unlimited is here in Madison with a dynamic outside-in showroom. See Siding Unlimited's window, door, roofing, deck, and other great outside stuff inside at 2018 South Stoughton Road, south of Buckeye. See Siding Unlimited's frequent Instagram posts or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
I say go, baby, go, go, go. Oh, I say go till you can't go. No more, no more. I say go, baby, go, go, go.
Thanks again to Michelle Smallmon. Again, go to travelwisconsin.com/draft to enter the contest by March 31st. Are we really going to get this?
Get what?
A road trip.
I think
not
really,
me. I want no part of it.
You don't want any part of it?
Zero.
None. I wonder.
I want to be able to stop if I have to pee.
I feel like you'd struggle with being in the road trip with us. I would do this in a heartbeat. I think it'd be really fun.
Okay. Make it happen.
If Canty wanted to go too, I can't imagine he would. But if he does, he's more than welcome. It would be fun. I don't know where we go, but I'm on board.
Can go down to Champaign-Urbana. She's made that drive many times.
They're all going to be here for the draft. Is there somewhere during the draft that you could take them? Like,
but it would all be
2 or 3. Like,
it would all be within a 2 or 3 hour window.
The problem is you would have to take them on like a Wisconsin road trip, but that would involve stopping places, which defeats the purpose of.
So
you just want to prove you can make it.
There's obviously plenty of places that I'd love to go around with, and. Michelle is doing the Travel Wisconsin, this whole big promotion, which is awesome. So there's different things. We'd hit supper clubs. But, yeah, you're right. This has got to be a road trip. But this isn't a tailgate tour. So if they wanted to do a tailgate tour of Wisconsin, I'd be on board. But I think the road trip component, the fact that she doesn't want to stop and she's willing to take on all of those responsibilities, which I'm fairly certain Evco would not want to do, I just think it would be fun little banter back and forth. Who do you think dominates that conversation? if the three of us are in the car. I don't know. I don't know.
It's you.
It's you. Come on.
I don't know.
I do hope this happens. I think you should just drive to Madison. That way you could get kind of a smaller sampling.
No, it's go big or go home. It's go big or go home.
All right, you stepped on my joke.
My bad.
Never mind.
Well, how did I know it was a joke?
Aww.
Don't get all pouty.
You interrupted.
Well, you do that to me
Quit
too.
stepping on his
all right,
jokes.
Look, I want to reset because I want to hear this joke.
No.
All right. No, just stop. Don't
the
pout.
moment has passed.
Stop
Gruber
pouting.
offices. One call, that's all. David and his team, they're the best in the business.
I saw David Sunday.
No, you don't interrupt at all. No, not at all.
Any
Road
details
trip to
of
Madison.
Any details of when you saw David, or you just wanted to say you saw him?
I saw him at the Bucks game. I just told you that. Had a chance to catch up with him. He's all fired up.
For what?
Now I'm giving the wrong phone number.
What's he fired up for?
He loves Marquette. He thinks the Badgers can make a run. He doesn't disagree with my take. He's an Auburn guy. He's got a lot of different. He's just fired. He loves the tournament.
414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. That is the number for Gruber offices. One call, that's all. If you've been injured in an accident or your co-host continually interrupts you and you would like to take legal action, David is there with his team. They're the best in the business. Go to the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more about the firm, all the great lawyers that are there, and all the great things that the Grubers do in our communities. Gruber offices, one call. That's all. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. Coverage of the boys' basketball postseason continues with a Thursday night sectional semifinal. Wanakee and Verona. Great game. Coverage starts at 6:30, tip at 7 o'clock. Stream it exclusively on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Another great game last night in Indianapolis between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers as they continue to do battle for what could impact Eastern Conference playoff positioning at the end of the season. Gary Trent Jr. hit a three-point shot to give the Bucks a three-point lead with 3.9 seconds to go on the clock. The Pacers next did the inbounding, and Dave Kane will tell you how it went the rest of the way.
Here comes the inbound pass. Nembhard gets it to Halliburton. Off balance, the three. He hits it with a foul. You have got to be kidding me. Tyrese Halliburton heaves it up with 3 seconds on the clock and hits it with a foul.
On the Bucks Radio Network, Tyrese Halliburton, the Oshkosh, Wisconsin born and raised guy, hits the game-winning shot. Pacers win at 115-114. Over the Milwaukee Bucks. Free agency officially opens at 3 o'clock this afternoon. More on Wilde and Tausch right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. If you missed Michelle Smallmon's visit, you can find it on Wisconsin On Demand or on the podcast on Spotify, Apple Play, Google Play, etc., etc. But I want to get back to this because I brought it up before she joined us. I'm thinking back to something Goody said last year, and I think I got to find it in my archives. But he made the comment that the average team only gives second contracts to like 2.1 on average of their draft picks from a certain class. And when he said it, I thought, well, that's an interesting thing to say, because I always thought that a good draft meant that you got 3 starters. That's what Ron Wolf used to tell us. And that they were good enough that you want them around for a second contract. And I thought it was really interesting that he brought that up, because I'm looking at the Packers 2020 draft, and A.J. Dillon yesterday, Jordan Schultz, what'd you call him? The coffee shop brawler?
Starbucks brawler.
Yeah, he's a Starbucks brawler.
They don't have do they have ice cream? They have those
frappes.
Frappuccinos. Yeah. From the 2020 draft, assuming A.J. Dillon is not back, and I think that's a pretty safe assumption, the only remaining player on the roster is Jordan Love. From the 2021 draft, now that Eric Stokes is a Raider and T.J. Slayton is a Bengal, and Josh Myers is not expected to be re-signed, the only Packer left from that draft is Isaiah McDuffie. Now, some decisions loom from the 2022 draft, because still on the roster, going into either their going into their 4th seasons, some of them their walk years, Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Christian Watson, Sean Ryan, Romeo Doubs, Zach Tom, Kingsley Enagbare, and Rasheed Walker. If my math is right, that's 8 out of the 11 picks.
Well, that's a good draft now.
That are still with the team.
That's a good draft now.
But I don't know if that'll be the case a year from now. Obviously, it won't be all 8 of them next year. Tausch, what does this tell us about either Goody's mentality or the quality of the 2020 and 2021 drafts? How do you kind of interpret this data?
I look at it, and I know you mentioned that, and if you've pulled that audio, I think it's really interesting. And it was interesting when you said it, because it gives you, for as much as these guys will say nothing when they're in front of the media, and that's, again, how they should do it, they will give you little Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs of how they're thinking and how they're approaching things. And I think the thing that they're not going to do anymore is, just because someone's a draft pick and they're steady, maybe they're not as good as they need to be. They're not going to continue just to pay, because you don't see the Packers as aggressive in the early part of these guys' careers. Mm-hmm. Like Zach Tom should have been signed last year, in my opinion. Was he eligible?
No.
If he was eligible, you're seeing more players play out their deals and maximize their value, and when that happens, you have to make a decision: is it worth that price point? There's going to be some guys there is, some guys there aren't, and the thing that you then realize is that's when you have to continue to replant those trees, and sometimes you got to chop them down and sell the lumber. That's kind of where they're at, and you got 8 guys next year, and you, as you're going through this, like, I could see him keeping him. I could see him keeping him.
Right.
You're not going to be able to keep all 8 unless you get guys done here in the next, and that's where I think the balance is going to be. They did not have very many players that they felt they needed to re-sign from those 2 draft classes of 20 and 21. Eventually the bill comes due, and that's why you're maybe not being as aggressive. You're not jumping at the Josh Myers, where in the past he's been a steady player. You'd keep him on board. So it's going to be very interesting, and that offensive line is going to be driving it, because I think you mentioned 3 guys that I think you like. How much do you like them?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be where we're going to find out. I know they're going to love Zach Tom. I can't tell you any of the other guys are a certainty that they're going to be a Green Bay Packer. And Goody is basically saying, if I don't know for sure, we'll let the market dictate if we're going to keep those players. Jordan Love was one that they did. And outside of that, there hasn't been a lot of guys that you felt that way about, and that's why he comes up with that number of 2.1.
So what, if anything, do we take from the Aaron Banks contract then? Because that obviously fills the left guard piece, but we're talking about now Elton Jenkins has 2 years left on his deal. He's going to be 30 years old the day after Christmas. You've got 3 other guys that are all ready for free agency, all non-first-round picks. So there is no fifth-year option for Zach Tom or for Sean Ryan or for Rasheed Walker. And you drafted Jordan Morgan to play. So he obviously is part of the plan. Like, do you allow Rasheed Walker to walk, for lack of a pun, in free agency? Do you, like, if you tag him, if I'm Rasheed Walker and I were to be tagged next year, I am signing that so fast, it's going to make their head spin, right? Because that gives me guaranteed $20-some million for 1 year. I don't know. They're just in such a fascinating place, and this is what you said earlier, where they're at with the offensive line, both in the short term, how they're going to configure it, and then in the long term on who's going to be here and who's not, right?
I think the offensive line is going to be fascinating to watch. Who moves where, who gets extended, who doesn't, what the Packers, how they view moving forward, what they're going to do. Jordan, you're right. Jordan Morgan will be the first domino to fall. Where are they going to play him? Mm-hmm. Is he going to be able to stay healthy and do it? Rasheed Walker, I think you said that they'll tag him. If he plays
maybe
left tackle at a really good clip this year, but the Packers don't want to pay him, it will be if he is a really high-end left tackle or a really good starter, you're mid-20s on the open market. You saw Laramie Tunsil is the most penalized left tackle, and Houston just got a bunch of picks for him, and the Commanders are paying him, up, in the mid to upper 20s per season. That's what Zach Tom's going to get. Mm-hmm. I don't envision the Packers doing that with Sheed. I think that if that's how this shakes out, I could see them trying to go year to year, and I don't think they'd be mad if he signs a franchise tender because he's a solid football player. And I don't think you let solid football players, you see how desperate people are for offensive linemen, and especially offensive tackles that are good players, and Rasheed Walker is that.
Well, we will see how that all unfolds. There's a long way to go, obviously, but to your point,
you think Goody is happy with his drafts of 20 and 21, the fact that he's only signed one, and I guess McDuffie got a 2-year, $8 million deal?
Mm-hmm.
Is he happy? He's not happy with that.
I don't. And look, and in fairness, I'm not saying that you're wrong when you said this, because if Jordan Love is as good as we think he is capable of being, and as we crowned him as being after that second half run in 2023, then it's great. And it doesn't matter that you missed on a lot of other players that draft. It really doesn't, because you got your guy at the most important position in the game. But I think even Goody would say that you'd like to have hit on at least one other pick, right? Like, it doesn't just make all the other picks not matter.
Correct.
So the fact that they have very little to show for those 2 drafts, it's still below the line that he said you usually would have for a draft class. 2.1, we're talking 1 in each class. That's below the line.
Yeah, it actually is kind of amazing that the Packers have been able to, and their last 2 draft classes have been really good.
They have, yeah.
And I think that the class last year has a chance to be, you got a couple of guys there that could be really special. 2 years ago, obviously a lot of guys got a lot of work, a lot of experience for everybody. And when I was on with KBN yesterday, it's, they can't, they can't do this. They can't win. They're not any better. The Bears are better. And my point is, all of this stuff, how many times do we get caught up in this? How many Bears,
every year?
How many Bears off-season championship banners are hung? They're everywhere. Nobody cares. You win by you have to have your players keep getting better and keep producing at a higher level, your core guys don't see free agency. Your core guys aren't guys that are brought in. It is a rare exception. You have 2 leaders and players of the caliber the Packers brought in last year.
No doubt.
That is not sustainable. It's not. You're not going to have a hit rate like Goody has in that part of it. You have to do that when A.J. Dillon doesn't pan out, when your safety position's been a hot mess, and you get fortunate that a GM doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and he falls into your lap. You say, thank you. And now you better get it right with the other guys. And if you don't, you ain't going to be doing anything. But this whole concept that the Packers have fallen behind the Bears, no. The Packers defensively are much better. There are holes to fill, but if they don't pick up a wideout or if they don't do this, does that mean that what we saw last year, they're going to get worse? If that's the case, shame on Matt LaFleur and shame on this group. If they're not better this year, there's going to be a lot of seats warming up.
Yeah. It's a critical year for a lot of people, and I'm very curious to see how it plays out, and we'll be chronicling it from start to finish here on Wilde and Tausch. All right, before Tausch tells us about our great partnership with UW Credit Union, where I've been a member longer than him, we need to get ready for trivia. And UW Credit Union, Wisconsin Geography Wednesday times 2. That's synergy right there.
Oh, we're doing 2 today? Did we not do one Monday? Or are we
double
not doing
trivia
one
day? Yeah, no trivia on Monday with Bulaga in here.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Double for you today.
Love that.
Double for you today to not participate in. Jesse, what callers do you want and how much? I know you were having like dinner or lunch or brunch with Up North Joe.
I feel like Jesse's social calendar is really starting to revolve around our trivia contestants. He's out to go with the wedding DJ. He's meeting up with
Tier 1 Tyler.
Tyler.
Huh.
So you had lunch with Up North Joe?
Yeah.
Did you guys collab?
We got lunch yesterday. It was great to see Up North Joe. He was in town for some business yesterday, so got to hang out with him during lunch. And yes, we did get some more trivia in before he goes through his indictment or what other.
He's getting indicted.
He's being indicted?
What did he do?
He's not getting it. You guys said he was getting
Gruber
indicted.
on the phone. What the heck did Up North Joe get indicted about?
A couple of weeks ago, Jason said he didn't want to make sure that Up North Joe was upset with him, and I said, no, he's just going through a major life-changing moment here coming up pretty soon. And you said, oh, is he getting indicted? And he took that to heart, that he was actually getting indicted. So he is not.
So he's gone out and gone on a crime spree, and he hasn't had enough time to do trivia.
He's been hanging out in Cambria next to Dan.
So yes, Joe wrote one set of questions. I wrote the other set of questions over lunch yesterday. It was a wonderful time.
All right. Well, we'll take caller 5 and caller 10. Caller 5 and caller 10 to play trivia. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 5, caller 10. You'll play next after Tausch tells us about UW Credit Union.
UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. And I'll tell you what, for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And you're ready to give the fees the stiff arm like the old Heisman? Yeah, UW Credit Union can help. No monthly fee checking. No overdraft, and overdrafts that never cost more than $5. They will save members over $12 million. And you know what I love about UW Credit Union? Those great little debit credit cards they got. All kinds of fun logos on there that you can pick and choose from. You got the Terrace chairs. You got Bucky. You got everything you're looking for. Join today at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Do they have? Are there credit cards like tiny, like undersized credit cards, like mini cards?
No, they're regular.
You said they're the little. Is it just because you're a bigger guy and can't miss you? Lols. Caller 5 and caller 10 play trivia. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents The Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. You can see me turning. Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. You can see me turning. And I don't wanna leave you lonely. You gotta make me change my mind.
Jesse. Wait, let me try that again. Jesse.
Jason.
What's going on, man?
With what?
2 more first-time contestants for trivia?
Well, one is a second-time contestant. Let's be fair. One is a second-time contestant.
Well, why would you capitalize second time?
Well, because I was gonna.
Don't do that.
Because when I have two trivia contestants and I send them in the same text to you, I want to make sure that we celebrate the first-time contestant. It just so happens that this other one was a second-timer, which is
caps. There's fireworks. All right, forget it. Let's play trivia. Let's welcome in first caller 5. And he is Chris in South Milwaukee, and he is a first-time contestant. Chris, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well. How are you?
We're happy to have you. Appreciate you. And then second-time contestant, caller 10. It's Brian in Wilde. Brian, it's old hat for you. How you doing?
Sorry. I'm well.
I kid because I care. All right. Chris, you do get your honor. Do you want Up North Joe's questions or do you want Jesse's questions, which may or may not have an error in them?
I'll risk Jesse's questions.
All right. I admire your gumption.
Good luck.
All right, Chris, question 1 for you then from Jesse's list of questions is this. Weston, Schofield, and Rothschild are smaller communities surrounding which of these Wisconsin cities? Is it Appleton, Wausau, or the Bullstream TV broadcast booth?
That would be Wausau.
It would be. Well done. 1 for 1 for you. All right.
Great bowling community up there.
That's what I hear.
That's
and very
what we were
intense,
going for there.
Kind of jerks.
Great second-place
Jesse
finish for
suggested.
Everest. Yeah.
We're going to beat him up. All right, Brian, question 1 for you, buddy.
Wayne Steffenhagen. Great football coach up there back in the day.
Steffenhagen. Oh, sorry, I've heard it both ways.
We're good, Jason. Go ahead.
Brian, question 1. Which Wisconsin city is the only other major U.S. city besides Seattle to be built on an isthmus? Not to be confused with a peninsula. So Seattle and which Wisconsin city are both built on an isthmus? Is it Oshkosh, Madison, or Isthmusville?
Madison.
Indeed it is. 1 for 1 for you as well. You got to get Up North Joe to have a jokey third answer. For
just wait. He did his own path today.
Oh, no. Really? Okay. All right.
Sometimes I editorialize Up North Joe's questions. This time he's on his own, so you'll see how this goes.
Okay. All right, Chris, question 2 for you from Jesse's questions. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin high schools, one of which won the 2025 Team State Bowling Championship?
They all won.
Oh, interesting. Which of these Wisconsin high schools, all of which won a 2025 Team State Bowling Championship, is located farthest south? Which high school located farthest south? Is it Brown Deer, Merrill, or Indian Trail?
I'm going to go with Indian Trail.
And you are correct. 2 for 2. Well done. Merrill, going back to the Wausau question, isn't that up near Wausau?
Yeah, up near Tomahawk.
The Blue Jays.
All right, question 2 for you,
Matt Chevy
Brian.
country. Big fan of the show, the Chev Dog.
Do they have ginseng?
We called him the
ginseng up
Candy
there?
Man. No, we called him the Candy Man. We went to a basketball camp at Stevens Point, and I still see the Chev Dog every once in a while. And we bring that up because he brought all his candy into Parker, the old coach for Stevens Point. We went to a basketball camp, and the Chev Dog was there. Candy Man. Yeah.
Your interruptions today have been next level.
Well, that was a pretty good little interruption.
I'm sure you do.
At camp, they'd come and pull us out of there, and they'd steal all our candy that the candy man gave us. The camp counselors would steal all our candy, and they'd go make us run track laps. Not the greatest camp I ever been to. Gonna lie to you.
So
but the candy man was there.
The candy man brought candy for the kids, and then the coaches would make the kids go run.
The counselors would see. He knew that Chev Dog was the candy man, so when we were up in the same dorm floor, they'd come and they'd raid our stuff, and they'd send us out and run on the track, and they'd take our candy.
And did you tell an authority figure
You
that
can't.
your candy?
No,
Why not?
Snitches. You don't snitch on people stealing candy.
Sure you do.
Sign up for the Candyman's camps at candymancamps.com, and you too can have your candy confiscated.
I am 100% if I'm one of those campers ratting out the counselors for stealing my candy.
Well, back in those days, and stuff would have probably happened. It's not appropriate. And
All right, this is starting to spiral out of control. If you don't mind,
I didn't bring this up.
Yes,
you talked
did.
about
You did.
Merrill. If you don't bring up Merrill, I don't bring up the Candyman.
It was one of the options.
I understand, but you're blaming me. You bring up Merrill, I bring up Blue Jays, and then I go to the Candyman.
Brian, question 2 for you. With a maximum depth of 236
He's thinking,
feet.
what the hell am I getting myself into?
With a maximum depth of 236 feet, I'm thinking the same thing. Which of the following lakes is the deepest natural inland lake in Wisconsin? I got to say, up north, Joe loves lake depth. He's asked
big
a lot
on the
of
lakes.
lake depth
Yeah,
questions.
big on the lakes.
Good thing Scuba Chad wasn't the contestant today.
Or the Candyman. All right, deepest natural inland lake in Wisconsin. Is it Green Lake, Lake Winnebago, or Little Newton Lake?
It's Green Lake.
Brian, I just want to A, apologize, and B, say thank you for enduring your turn of
How
Wilde
does
and
that
Tausch
rank,
trivia.
up north, Joe, I know you're listening, how does that rank compared to other big, deep lakes in this country? Like, is that one of the deepest, or is it just a marginally deep lake? Since he loves lake depth.
Yeah. You understand he's not on the hotline. He can't answer
No, but I know
right
he
now.
listens, so I'm sure he'll get to Jesse. Pontchartrain, I feel like, might be one of the deeper lakes. Like Pontchartrain.
I can tell Joe's either in Cedarburg or at a hospital today, depending on significant life developments that could be taking place.
Not prison, though.
Correct.
Okay.
Chris, question 3 for you. Former NASCAR driver Matt Kenseth is originally from this Wisconsin city, which is also home to the Matt Kenseth Museum. Well,
that makes sense.
Checks out.
Is Matt Kenseth from Cambridge, Cambria, or Camp Douglas?
Let's go with Cambridge.
Yes, sir.
He is not an axe murderer. He is a NASCAR driver, and he is from Cambridge.
Or
not
as Jesse
Cambria.
said with Halliburton when he was doing his sports, he's a guy. He's a guy from there.
That's not what I said.
You got to hear that. It was a beautiful sports center.
All right, question 3 for you, Brian, and I believe a chance to go 3 for 3 for both of you. This is the question, Brian.
Yep.
Wow, no interruption. Nice. Which of the following is the largest of the Apostle Islands? The largest of the Apostle Islands. Is it Madeline Island, Gull Island, or Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John Island? Oh, the apostles.
What were the first two again, please?
So you're eliminating Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John Island, just to be clear. Okay.
Yes, I'm eliminating the third one.
All right, so your choices are Madeline Island or Gull Island.
I'm going to guess Madeline.
And it's a good guess. Perfect day on Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Chris, you got 3 out of 3. You got 4 entries. Congratulations on a strong first-time performance. Well done, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Brian, thank you for enduring incessant interruptions during your turn. You got 3 out of 3 right as well. You have 4 entries into Friday's drawing. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, guys. Love you.
We love you, too.
I love you guys.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bill and Madison on the text line. The Matt Kenseth Museum is no longer in Cambridge.
Oh, boy. Why does trivia... Can we ever have a day where there's not some kind of controversy with trivia?
I mean, he's still from Cambridge, but...
Where did the museum move
I guess
to?
they shut it down. Maybe did they relocate, or did they just shut it down? I don't know.
Where do you move a museum from the guy's hometown to another location?
What the heck is going on in Cambridge? He's not there anymore? Oh, boy.
Sounds like we need to have Matt Kenseth on the show.
That's disappointing.
Get him booked for that week that Tausch is gone.
That is
sub of the day.
All right. Well, you learn something new every day.
Here
and
I was
Matt
hoping we would go.
Maybe
I
they moved it to Cambria.
I had next door to Dan because that real estate opened up.
Cheaper rent.
I had a Madeline Island deal. That's beautiful. If you could ever get up there,
Oh,
Madeline
my God.
Island. It's gorgeous, like legit gorgeous. The only way over is a ferry, and they got a beautiful golf course over there. It's beautiful. That might be where I take the road trip, is to Madeline Island.
Would you want the Mark Tauscher Museum to be in Sun Prairie or Auburndale?
Great question.
Auburndale.
Yeah?
Yep. Oh, hey, maybe Millador.
Maybe we could
farm.
share. Maybe we could share the rent with the Wilde and Tausch Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, put them next door.
synergy.
Yeah.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah.
That'd be
I think
great.
I wanted it in
Little
Millador.
duplex.
Millador or Blanker.
All right. I can't
Sherry.
wait.
Not Sherry. It'd be Millador or Blanker.
Sherry.
Sherry. Sherry.
Sherry.
Yeah. Well, maybe Merrill. Let's see if the candy man
He can work the door
real
and give kids candy and then have it confiscated later in the tour.
By the staff.
Oh, God. Y'all are cray. You know that, right?
Y'all are exhausting. Whoa Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson encouraging you to get in touch with the team at Madison School and Community Recreation. Summer is coming, and it's time to start thinking about your summer job. Madison School and Community Recreation is now hiring for a whole bunch of positions. And trust me, if you're looking for some summer work, whether it's part-time or full-time, this is where you're going to want to get that opportunity. All these different things that are coming up. Madison School and Community Recreation now hiring for day camp and youth program leaders, outdoor adventure staff, support staff for individuals with disabilities, sports instructors, my personal favorite, always in need of officials, and much more. Full-time and part-time positions, daytime and evening hours are available. So if you have a college student coming home for the summer looking for some work, Madison School and Community Recreation. You're just looking for a little extra time, a little extra cash while the sun is shining late at night. Madison School and Community Recreation. No matter your interest, no matter your schedule, no matter your location, there's a position for everyone. At MSCR, make an immediate impact in the community and gain meaningful experience. Start your summer adventure today. Apply at mscr.org. That's mscr.org.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project. Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league. Bring the energy and be a part of history in Madison. Join us for the inaugural League One volleyball season. The second half of the season is heating up, so don't miss your chance to see these incredible athletes up close at the Alliant Energy Center. Follow Love Madison Volleyball on their journey to the first ever championship in Louisville from April 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets now at lovb.com and be a part of this game-changing season. Volleyball is the next major league.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Before we get to Whoa Nelly, apparently someone has smuggled in a burner cell phone, and Up North Joe has been able to text us from his incarcerated location in jail.
Crater Lake in Oregon is 1,949 feet deep. So running the numbers, that's 8.26 Green Lakes deep. Up North Joe on Crater Lake in Oregon. Yeah. So how does that compare?
Just to be clear, I don't want anybody being besmirched here. Up North Joe is not in any sort of legal trouble as far as we know.
As far as we know, he is not. No.
And you keep bringing up a hospital, and we hope that he's healthy and happy. So I'm guessing that it might be a joyful thing that might be occurring at some point that might be changing his life. But again, he will choose when to break that news by having, baby trivia or something at some point.
That would be Up North Joe's +1, more to work on there with the significant event. Yeah.
Speaking of significant events, time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocca's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
Got a pass rusher update in NFL free agency. Von Miller was released by the Buffalo Bills on Sunday night.
Hard pass.
The Bills signed Joey Bosa, who was released by the Chargers Sunday night, to a 1-year, $12.6 million deal. Any concern or frustration that the Packers weren't even linked in any way to Joey Bosa?
No. I thought you were talking about Von Miller at first. I don't have any interest. Von Miller, that was a bad signing by Buffalo from the jump. Goody, I think, wisely is skewing younger. As Smalls and I like to say, the Leonardo DiCaprioization of our roster. With that said, I'm still in on Trey Hendrickson because I know how productive he is, and he's going to give you – I don't need a long time. I just need a good time. I don't need him to be great for 5 years. I need him to be great for 1 or 2 years. That's what I'm looking for from anyone that's 30, 31. Make a couple of big plays. Julius Peppers it. You start limiting some snaps. But Joey Bosa, no. If we can get Nick Bosa, I'm in. And I got a crazy idea.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
San Francisco is gutting their team.
Fire sale.
I don't know if I'd say fire sale, but it's crazy. Like, they're getting rid of everybody. We've already picked up Banksy. We've fortified. We've shored up that O-line.
You can't go fortified.
Oh,
that messes up the joke.
We shored up the O-line. We banksed it. Brandon Aiyuk coming off a knee. We loved him coming out. I'm going to take him ahead of Jordan Love. The 49ers paid him a big fat bonus already, so all of a sudden that's not going to be as costly. You can restructure the deal. We go to San Fran for a third and say, we'll take Aiyuk off your hands. You guys are rebuilding. He's injured. We'll take a little risk. We'll gamble a little bit. Everybody's raving. We need a wideout. We need this. You join in my club that we go bargain shopping and third, fourth round pick, maybe some conditions in play. And we look at maybe a next year pick. We look at getting Aiyuk on a conditional. He plays this many snaps and go all the way up to a second if he's a baller, and maybe a fourth or fifth as a starting point. You guys in?
I don't know if the 49ers are looking hard at this trade, but if they are, and I know there are multiple reports that say they are looking to move Brandon Aiyuk now too, just after they signed him. On the one hand, there were reports that he's who the Packers wanted to draft in 2020.
Boy, how different was that whole thing?
And the 49ers jumped ahead of him by one pick and took him. For all the flowers that Goody gets for drafting Jordan Love, I would love to know what would have happened had the 49ers not gotten in front of him. Would he have taken Brandon Aiyuk?
Did you ask him?
No, because he's never going to answer that.
Just learn a lesson and say, if you don't respond, I'm assuming you would say yes. And then see what he says.
I'm not doing that. So I understand that. At the same time, if you're the 49ers, again, don't you want to trade him, if you can, to a team that is less of a threat to you?
They are rebuilding. They're getting
the
younger.
Packers were rebuilding in 2023, and they made the playoffs.
Yeah. They realized, I think, that they should have traded Aiyuk last year.
Yeah, instead of signing him. Correct. Yeah. I agree.
So they have now said we're moving into a new phase of our group. Now, are they going to trade Aiyuk to Green Bay? Probably not. But if that's the best offer, maybe they don't think Aiyuk's that good. Now he's injured. How is he going to bounce back?
Right. No,
you know Aiyuk for Watson. Are you doing it today with the cost certainty you got?
Two
Aiyuk?
injured guys.
Yeah.
Two guys both coming
and
off
you got
ACLs.
To sprinkle. Green Bay would probably have to sprinkle.
I'd do it.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I'm not, because I am going down with the Watson ship.
Yeah,
I'm going down
agree.
with the Watson ship. Now, if it's Dobbsy,
you cannot make that trade faster.
Well, you have to give up something too.
I understand.
Yeah, okay. Why not?
Whoa, Nelly.
Why not is my question.
Whoa, Nelly!
Because the 49ers aren't making that trade. They're going to want a first-round pick.
A lot of people want a lot of things. Reality hits you. Debo is a more accomplished wideout than Aiyuk, and they got a fifth.
Older.
They got a fifth. Not that much. 3 years. Now, granted, it's a long time in the NFL. Blah, 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 blah. I get all that.
Let's play.
Aiyuk ain't going to be able to play for half the season next year. Debo's ready to roll.
Play the hypothetical game. If it's Watson and a sixth, or Dobbs and a
fourth.
I was going to say a third or a second. Let's say a third.
More. Dobbs and a fourth. Dobbs and a fourth for Aiyuk right now. I couldn't. You can't get me there fast enough.
Yeah. What about if it's a third or a second?
No. Okay. No. I got to start thinking. Now I got to start thinking.
Yeah.
Whoa, Nelly!
Yeah. Yeah.
Today is the day that the college basketball conference tournaments really ramp up for the major conferences. ACC tournament is on right now. Looks like we did not succeed in our prize picks run here in the first half, Tausch, for Virginia, Georgia Tech. Came up one guy short.
I couldn't figure out how to copy that, so I didn't do it.
Figured as much. Should have known better. How much basketball will you watch? I will be watching to the wee hours of the morning each of the next several days.
So tomorrow it is basketball palooza for OT. And then I got hockey the rest of the weekend. So my frame of mind is headed to St. Louis. I'm going to get my recommendation, some Smalls, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So tomorrow, are we announcing what we're doing tomorrow or not?
Yeah, you tell everybody.
So we're headed to the Pato Sportsbook tomorrow. Jason and I are going to, I believe, right? Jason, you're coming down?
I'm kind of sick of you.
No, they might throw you some food. Does that change your mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need some sprinklers. I need some sweeteners.
He doesn't want Dom straight up. He needs something else.
He's looking for a lot of sprinklers. That's well done. So we're going to be down there, and I can't wait. We're going to do the show, and then we're going to watch. I know I got some buddies coming down. We're going to watch some ball, and I'm kind of bummed that Marquette and Wisconsin are playing at the same time, but I'm going to probably do a little sprinkling.
Guessing they'll have more than one TV on each.
Maybe looking at a little sprinkling. And we've done shows from there, but Jesse was down there. The place is beautiful. We couldn't be more excited. So we're headed down there, and it will be all day conference championship type stuff. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I wanted Wisconsin to get that double bye, but I ain't that mad.
This works out pretty well for your schedule.
Because Jason has taught me in the media world, be selfish. Be about me. And I did, and it worked.
This is tough for you, though, because Marquette's on Peacock tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's not me.
But they're going to have it on the screen there for you. So technically, you're going to be watching Peacock.
I had a couple of folks at our little basketball end of the season deal last night felt the same way. They are anti-peacockers. They are anti-peacocking.
That's it for Wonelli.
Remember, thank God I got us out quick in the beginning, because think about how late we'd be getting out today if I didn't do that.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
We'll wrap things up next.
Now let us get the break.
It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Brewers.
They're really good at identifying talent. They're really good at developing talent.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
This is one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball.
100.5 ESPN.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show, talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
A good sign, Max Glesman appearing to practice with the team again. The Neenah product recovering from an ankle injury, missing the last 3 games. During his latest appearance on The Jump Around digital show, here's Nolan Winter on Klesmet's Impact.
He's just one of the dudes that even when he's out, he's still having the presence like he's there. He's yelling at us from the bench. He's trying to coach as best as he can. So he's itching to get back out there. So I know whenever the doctor gives him even like a little yellow and maybe greenish light, he's ready to go out there and he's going to give it his all. He loves the state of Wisconsin, so he can't wait to go out and compete.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch ice cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Unity Point Health Meritor is proud to be ESPN Madison's Mental Health Month sponsor this March. Explore resources at unitypoint.org/Madison. With the right support, every child and teen can find a path to better mental health.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We're on the Badgers.
This is my concern, and it's not his fault. They just settled for shots.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And if you settle for shots, Tanjay specifically, that's going to hurt.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Tausch's brilliant time management skills
thank God.
still have us out of time.
But thank God we got out early.
But we have just enough time. Would you shut up? Because if you were hoping for a Marquez Valdez-Scantling reunion with the Packers, he's going to be a Seattle Seahawk.
Oh, come on, man.
Rejoining Rodgers, huh?
Come on, man.
So excited to see you in person again tomorrow. That is it for us today.
It was a fun show today.
We will be at the Potawatomi Sportsbook tomorrow. He just keeps talking.
Lols.
We gotta go. Oh, you did it. That's exactly where I was gonna end. Lols. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's